Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling the meeting to order there. Whereas there's a quorum of council present and the time is 6 p.m. and that the minutes of the regular meeting of April the 14th, 2021 be approved. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Cheryl, move.
I'll second. Kevin.
Kevin, you're for it again?
I am.
Edith?
Yes.
Pat?
In favor?
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
In favor?
Dale? And I'm in favor. Motion carried. In regards to, there's something there we want to add to the agenda there. In regards to the regular agenda there, the media request from Rosalind Russell there. Can we put that under A7? Does anybody have a problem with that there?
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Be it resolved, the following be added to the regular agenda, A7, media request from Rosalind Russell. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
I'll
So
move.
moved.
I'll
Seconder?
second.
Pat moved.
Yes, and Kevin will second it. Okay, Kevin's in favor. Edith, for or against?
In favor.
Pat, you're for it.
In
Linda,
favor? Yes.
In favor.
Cheryl,
In favor?
Dale? And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Has anybody got a conflict of interest there tonight there? In regards to anything on the agenda there?
Pat, no.
Kevin, no.
Glenda, no.
Cheryl, no.
Edith, no.
I do in regards to the delegation from Harold Krabs and Cassie Burns there. And when we get to that, I'll turn the meeting over to Glenda there. The first delegation, Stephanie, are you on here?
Am.
Yeah, could you turn your volume up? Can't hear you.
I can try. I'm noticing your video and audio is a bit delayed. So can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, you're hearing you loud and clear, Stephanie.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but Les, your audio is breaking up a lot.
Yes, I know.
Apologies. I'm hoping to share my screen and I don't know if Kim, if you can give me the ability to do that. I know if you just go to the top of my little corner of my
Go ahead,
screen.
Stephanie.
I'm trying to share my screen for the presentation, but I don't have access to that because the host needs to give me that ability. So Kim, I don't know if you can just allow me to share my screen.
Yeah, I'm looking on the three buttons and I don't see that option. I have a share screen at the bottom, but I don't know if that'll help you, will it?
So if you go over my video
Yeah.
and the three dots on my video,
Yeah.
that's not giving you the option.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Everybody, council was given your PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, forgive me then if you don't mind looking at the PowerPoint that was given to you as the resource. I'm happy to go through it. So Honorable Mayor and Councilors, thank you for having me to councils today. My name is Stephanie Landers. I'm Manager of Industry Relations and Public Outreach for the Ontario Water Power Association. On the second slide, you can see the reason why I'm here making a delegation today. And we are essentially requesting local municipalities who have water power assets within their communities to consider becoming water power champions. There are three different ways that you can do so if you decide that that's something you would like to do. One is to sign our Ontario Water Power Champions Charter. The second would be to consider proclaiming Water Power Day, which is coming up on June 20th. It's our third year celebrating Water Power Day in the province. And third would be considering community membership, which for communities is just $100. And it would give you all the resources that you may need in relation to knowledge about water power. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. On slide number 3, you'll see all of the municipalities who have signed on to date, some of which I think are very close to yourselves. I just wanted to point out that FNUM, who I know you are members of, are also water power champions. And Roma, who I know are also you are members of, are members of the organization as well. Really quickly, I just want to do a very quick history of Ontario Water Power, just for your own benefit. Currently, there are 224 facilities located in the province. They range in size from 1 kilowatt facilities, which are in people's backyards, all the way up to 1,000 megawatts and more, which you might see up in the north or in places like Niagara Falls. The 5th slide here shows some graphs. So our assets are very eclectic. We have facilities that are, only a few years old, and many facilities that are over 100 years old now, century-old assets as well. We're located all over the province, northwest, east, south. You can see water power. In terms of the energy in the province, we provide 25% of the electricity to Ontario. And clearly in your location, I'll talk a little bit about the asset that you have within your community as well as we get going a little bit further. The 6th slide just talks to the fact that we conducted some public outreach surveying to see if the public supported water power in the province. And we were happy to find out that 92% of those living in Ontario support water power, and that's across all regions and all political parties. So if you're looking at your constituents, water power tends to be a technology that is supported for the most part. Slide number 7 just talks to the fact that we're also very low cost electricity. The last election was, it was very clear that the public was concerned over cost of electricity. And because we're long lasting assets, because we have peaking capability and our total capacity is larger than some of the other technologies, we really are the best bang for buck when you look at the cost for the actual individuals that need electricity in the province. Number 8 is kind of I just want to talk about the reason why we're here is we do foresee a movement towards local land use planning. And this movement we're seeing across the board because it's your communities, and obviously the government wants you to be making the decisions about what's best for your communities. And that seems to be the trend moving forward with energy as well. We foresee many opportunities of retrofitting existing assets. There's over 2,000 dams in the province right now that do not produce power and are there for alternative purposes like flood mitigation or navigation or recreation. And what we're trying to encourage is communities to take a look at the assets that they have and consider if there's an opportunity to potentially be owners of a facility or become a partner of a potential facility as we move forward. And then finally, when we look at sustainable communities and the fact that climate change is an issue in the future, and water power provides a low carbon technology solution for that, we also foresee there being opportunities for your communities as well. Slide number 5 just outlines your own local facility, which is Cameron Falls Generating Station, which was built in 1991 and is 4 megawatts. It's owned by Evolugen, which was previously Brookfield. And I'm sure you're very aware of your own facility, but I just wanted to point that out to you. And then just quickly on our Water Power Champions Charter, I believe you were provided with a bit of an outline of that, but essentially it's a commitment to support local expansion of water power, the fact that there's refurbishment opportunities if you'd like to consider them, enhancing the economic assets of your community while ensuring all voices are heard, and working collaboratively to create future opportunities. If you would like to consider membership, and by the way, you could consider all of them or none of them. It's really up to you what best suits your community. We all know every community is different. But in terms of membership, there are several benefits. I'm not going to go over every single one in light of time here, but the one I do want to point out is on slide number 12, which is our Water Power Reference Center, which I found communities find the most valuable with membership. And basically it involves a mapping GIS product that shows potential water power sites if your community was interested in that development opportunity, as well as existing water power assets, dam inventory, utility lines, everything that you can think of related to water power in the province and within your community. So for sake of time, I'm happy to open it up to any questions. And I look forward to any sort of decision, whether that be tonight or later on, and that certainly I can follow up in that regard as well.
Stephanie, is most power plants there running the river?
So there's, again, we're very eclectic in the province. So we have many facilities that provide reservoir storage, which helps with flexibility. So particularly when we need more air conditioning or heat, we can let that water go in order to actually create more electricity. So many other assets like wind and solar, nuclear don't have that flexibility capacity. However, we do have many run-of-river facilities as well. I've been to both, and both are very, very important to the system when we look at, things like flood mitigation, which we're seeing more and more with our climate change challenges. But to answer your question, it's a bit of both.
But it's a clean energy.
It is, right.
Has anybody got any questions for Stephanie?
Well,
I have,
our generating, so do I. Go ahead, Dale.
sorry about that, Kevin. I
No,
just
no, it's
wanted-
fine.
Okay, I can't expand this map large enough to see if there's a potential site, but years ago, I believe there was talk about another power generating dam right within the town of Massey. So is that a potential site on the map that I'm speaking of that I can enlarge big enough to see?
Yeah, so this is just an image of the map. You would have to go into, as a member, you can go into the map and zoom in. But from my understanding, there is a dam in your community that, in Massey, that would be a potential opportunity in the future, yes.
Well, there is a dam. You mean there's a waterway with potential? Is that what you mean?
Yes. I don't know the exact number of what the actual megawatt capacity would be. But that's something that if you're interested in membership, we can certainly look into as well.
And is there any monies available from the government to assist in this project?
So currently there is no new procurement opportunities, but what we are doing at the moment with the government is refurbishment. So particularly if there's a dam that is aging and is an older infrastructure and needs upgrading to happen regardless, we're encouraging that communities take a look at the potential for water power. And we have many municipalities who are part owners of facilities or full owners of facilities and really reap the benefits of long-term funds coming in from supplying that electricity to their community as well. So in short, there are refurbishment opportunities, brand new sites, however, like greenfield sites. Right now with the Ford government, they are not doing new contracts or new procurement at the moment.
And what do you consider aging sites that need refurbishment? What year are you talking about?
So I would have to actually we'd have to do an assessment on the dam that you have yourselves. Being Ontario wide, I don't know the specifics of the infrastructure itself within your community, but if it were to be something that, there's safety concerns and you need to upgrade it, then that would be the time to consider that. But you would probably have experts, I assume, in your community that would know that, if not the different government level that would know.
Okay, thank you very much for answering my questions.
My pleasure.
So Kevin Burke here. My question is, the facility in our township is privately owned, and so where does the township becoming a member of your association, like how does the township get a benefit of that when it's a private it's a private facility?
Great question. So the way that the province is with electricity in 2001, the electricity system was privatized. So what happened at the time was we were publicly owned, but we also opened up to become private for some industry. So that particular dam, Cameron Falls, is owned by a private entity. But what we're trying to do is moving forward, and some of our communities are doing this, is the municipality kind of spearheading the project with one of our potential private members. It happens with Indigenous communities as well, where they become 50-50 owners of a project moving forward that's been identified. And a lot of that has to do with, again, the fact that we foresee local land use planning being the trend moving forward, and the fact that you will be hopefully in more control of your community assets. So, and I guess to a long-winded way of saying, certainly the project right now that's private would not necessarily be the opportunity. It's kind of looking at the future opportunities to your community as well. And being a member, and you don't have to become a member if you find that you just want to proclaim Water Power Day and celebrate the asset in your community, or if you find the charter of interest, those are options as well. But becoming a member basically kind of helps you to identify if those opportunities exist. And if they do, then you have the connections with our engineering and generator members or environmental members who can help you along with that process if it's something that you decide to do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Pat
We have-
Natchuk, this is Pat Natchuk. I have a question. A couple of years ago, we tried to deal with the MNRF, and we have a very good, used to be a dam site that supplied all of the hydro for Webwood, which is one of our smaller communities in our municipality. And they would not deal with us at all. So it's a very, very optimal site to use if there's ever monies coming forward that could help us out with that, and somebody to shove the MNRF to cooperate with us. We were willing to, pay half of whatever needed to be done to get that unit working again. So it was on the Daigle. It was called the
Thank you, Pat. That's interesting information, actually. And we do work with the MNRF on their dam sites, and we know that for them, the idea of passing along some of those assets, depending on the location, is of interest. So I'd be happy to look into that more.
It's pretty well destroyed now, but it used to supply all of the hydro that our smaller community needed.
Okay, so yeah, that would be the type of thing that we'd want to identify and see if there are opportunities. Unfortunately, if it's too far gone, I'm not so sure if that is an opportunity. But that being said, I think it's something that should be looked into for sure.
Yeah. There needed to be some repairs done to the dam, which we were willing to help with financially, but they wouldn't deal with us at all. So.
Where's the location by chance? Or if you want, you can send me an email with more information, so I'm not taking
It was called, it used to be called the Daigle Dam.
Okay.
Daigle.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy to look into that a little bit further. Again, with the anticipation of different governments moving forward, who's to say that in the future that MNRF isn't more inclined to take on a project like that with a community. So we're kind of trying to identify those opportunities, which the community members, quite frankly, know better than anyone else, to see if you can have an economic opportunity or value within your kind of jurisdiction. I think there was
Any other
another
questions for
question.
Stephanie?
We got a ratepayer with his hand up, Les. Is he allowed to ask a question?
Yeah, I don't see it there. Can't tell you there. Go ahead, whoever it is there.
Yes, good evening, Your Worship and Council, and the delegation on the water power. My name is Harold Krabs, and back in the early 80s, we did a very extensive water power engineering study for the town of Massey. Because we were looking at, I was chairing the public utilities and at that time deputy mayor of the town. And we were doing a major water improvement. We had to replace all the water mains in town, and we're looking at a water purification plant. So we had looked also at the same time, if we had to run water down to the filtration plant, that maybe there was a possibility of incorporating a generator or two or whatever. So Walker Engineering out of Thessalon did a very extensive engineering study on this, because there were some monies available. This would have produced, I believe, I can remember it, I could be wrong, but I think on low water, we were going to produce about a half a mega power, and on the one generator, but when the water came up, which was in the majority of the season, it tripled or quadrupled that. At that time, council didn't feel that maybe we should be going to quite that large an expenditure. Of course, I was on the other side because I was on the Public Utilities Commission, and we were paying the money for the hydro. But anyway, the water filtration system went ahead, but the generators weren't included. Now, somewhere I would really like to hope, I always hoped it would come back again, that some of this information has been saved, because like we did a lot of work on it. There's a lot of people involved in it. And at that time, the Ministry of Natural Resources didn't allow to have a water power generating plant within a provincial park. So the option at that time, was possibly that the municipality would buy the provincial park. That way they could put their generating system upstream above the falls, because we didn't want the generating system to like we have a beautiful place there, and we didn't want that to be destroyed. We still want the water coming down there, but it was in the park, so it meant having to buy the park. This financially, personally, I think this was an excellent deal, but then again, I'm only one of quite a number of votes. And but I say this has been done, and I would really like to, if anybody ever wanted to get involved in that again, be a part of this, because like I say, I was there from square one right through the whole duration of it. So we have a little bit of knowledge on it, and I'm sure, or I would hope that somewhere in the archives we could find this. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I certainly, it sounds like you have a wealth of information. And again, that's why we're connecting with communities, because you're the ones who know your communities best. If you can find that information, I'd be happy to take a look at it as well. And thank you for your support and understanding. I know the MNRF more recently, I guess the 1980s would have been about 34 years ago now. They do have Crown land access availability for site developments. But again, it's identifying whether it's feasible, and then if it is, ensuring that you become actual proponents, so that it's the community yourself who's the developer. In our opinion, is the best route to go.
Thank you.
But Stephanie, there's an individual there that lives in Ellie Lake there, had a proposal north of what Bucky Krabs is talking
We lost you, Les.
about, and the parks put the stumbling block there. They couldn't proceed park boundary. So that project too. So the parks there got too much control of the water in this close of Massey there. That's the trouble.
Well, you're never going to get past the MNR if they don't want you to.
Yes, we are very aware, at being a lobby advocacy group organization, and that's primarily what we do, is do work at the provincial level with the provincial government. So but I all I can say is, sorry Les, I didn't get everything that you said there, but I think I got the gist of it. And I'm happy to kind of leave it with your council to see what best suits you in identifying, moving forward. If it ends up being you would consider proclaiming Water Power Day or signing the charter, or take that extra step in becoming members, that's clearly up to you and what's best for your council and community.
Has anybody got any other questions there for Stephanie?
There was I couldn't open the PDF. What's the cost of joining?
For communities, it's just $100 a year.
I see. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm also always happy to answer more questions. You can visit our website at owa.ca, or our general info at owa.ca is our email. But I'll leave it with you, and I can follow up with Kim in the future. And I just thank you very much for having me this evening. Yeah, and if there's not any other questions, then I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I got a resolution here, Stephanie. Be it resolved, we thank Stephanie Landers of Ontario Water Power Association for her presentation, and that the Council of Township of Sables-Spanish River endorses the attached Ontario Water Power Champions Charter. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Glenda will move.
I'll second it, Dale.
Kevin, for or against?
I'm for it.
Edith?
You're muted, Edith.
There we go. 4.
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda, you're in favor?
Yes.
Cheryl?
4.
And Dale's in favor?
Yes.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
No,
Have a great evening.
Farquhar spent lots of money there on that project north of what the Bucky Crabs was there, and the parks killed it on them there. So there's other sites available there on that river there.
Sorry to hear that.
Okay, in regards to next delegation, I got a conflict of interest there. So Linda, do you want to carry on here, please?
I'll carry on. From the research I've done, though, I believe you don't have a conflict of interest, but if you choose so, that's fine. We'll carry on with the delegation of Harold Krabs and Casimir Burns in regards to the McGregor drain. Are they on?
Yes, we're here. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Linda.
Thank you for asking to speak. Go ahead. Thank
Yeah.
you.
This is Harold Krabs on behalf of our delegation. We appreciate the opportunity to speak on this. Our concern. Evening to the clerk and yourself, Your Honor, and the council. I'm here to speak on behalf of the McGregor Drain landlords. I'm going to give you a presentation of what we have come up with and we've been advised on, and we're going to leave it for your perusal, because I think we were at the last meeting, but under the circumstances where because of the COVID, because of whatever, maybe we didn't have the correct protocol where we had all the signatures and support to show how we feel about this out of the landlords. Anyway, Chair Mascott told me at the last delegation, we could not represent the rest of the landlords involved on the drain issue. I, Harold Krabs and Casimir Burns, have gone back to all of these landlords in discussion and brought forward their letter of authority, giving Harold Krabs and or Casimir Burns the authority to act on their behalf in all of the McGregor drain proceedings. Tonight, we're presenting our findings so far. This is more an investigation on the proceedings that have taken place, such as the open meeting that were supposed to have happened, etc., regarding this drain. They'll be presented at a later date. Under the authority given us by the landlord, we're asking council to put forth a motion for our discussion on this matter. Is this possible?
I'll ask other council as well regarding the question of putting a motion forward. Anybody have any questions or concerns? All the other council.
We just need to move.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. I just want to hear from the other counselors as well. Seeing as your letter stated that I'm not the decision maker. We always have decisions together. I just happen to have to speak. So I just want to make sure that every counselor is aware of what you're saying and to make sure that everybody's on board. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we had a few issues that came up. One, Casimir and I were at a meeting. I can't give you the exact date of it. Anyway, when we asked for a referral and a deferral of the payment and the accepting of the engineer's report. And so I just wanted to go back to Article 57 of the Drainage Act and its referral back to the engineer. I'm sure you guys all have a copy of this. I made sure we got it dropped off, or I tried to get it dropped off soon enough that everybody would have it, because I don't want to do things, I'd like to do everything cards up, face up on the table. This Article 57 says the council of the initiating municipality at any time before passing the bylaw, if it appears that there are or may be errors in the report of the engineer, or that for any reason the report should be reconsidered, may refer back to the engineer for reconsideration, and the engineer shall thereupon reconsider the report and shall further report to council, which the report has the same effect and shall be dealt with in the same manner, and proceedings thereon shall be the same as upon the original report. And we got some numbers, 1990. At the Court of Revision, when we pointed out that we felt there were errors on the report and asked you to take this back to the engineers, council refused a request. Councillor Phillips stated that if you get a bill from the engineer, you have to pay it. So, and we feel that council should have taken the report back to the engineer because of the Article 57. But then we're going to move on to, we're concerned about the way the costs were delegated. So, but Article 1.8, these costs were, the article, the 76 was done to repair, basically to repair property severance. According to Article 118 of the Municipal Drainage Act, it says where such damages and costs become payable owing to any improper action, neglect, default, or omission on part of the council of any municipality or of any of its officers or employees in the construction, improvement, maintenance, or repair of the drainage works, or in carrying out provisions of the act, which in this particular case would have meant the allocations. The referee or court may direct that the whole or any part of such damages and costs be borne by the municipality and paid out of the general funds thereof. And this is the opinion that we are on. When I made a request on behalf of the landlords that the bylaw to charge those landlords at that time was $16,000. I'm not sure what it was today. I know it's changed. I know it's been dropped a little bit. So I'm not sticking anybody to 16,000. It's in that neighborhood, which basically was to fix up the McGregor property severance, be rescinded by resolution of council until further investigation has been done. I was refused because we want to research this. There again, Councillor Mascott stated, I appreciate, or I shouldn't say, I guess you are a councillor, sorry, Glenda.
Yes.
My I gotta watch out the way I say things here. Eh? Look, I haven't done this in a while. I appreciate that, but I don't believe. Unless you had delegation that included all the people in the community, I don't believe that we can validate that request at this time. So I asked, why couldn't I not respond to that? Anyway, I responded, because you don't have the other people and you're staying, you're representing there to actually speak for themselves. And I believe that, just as you speak for yourself, everyone else does too. So I believe that we conclude the discussion at this point in time. This is a decision that should have been made by council, we believe, not by the chair, as just what one person believes. We feel the position of the chair is to facilitate discussion in council and to ensure everyone has an opportunity to speak, not to lead the council's decisions with personal statements of their thoughts or make decisions on their behalf. As a result of this, we're here tonight asking once more for consideration that the McGregor property severance bylaw motion recharge allocations be rescinded by resolution of council until further investigation has been done on this. It was also brought up that it wasn't challenged at the Court of Revisions. The Court of Revisions was not the proper place to address our concerns. The purpose for the Court of Revision is only if we have a dispute, the amount that a landlord's responsibility for the allocations. So, which meant basically, we have X number of dollars and they're divided up percentage wise. And if I felt that I should pay a lesser percentage than my neighbor and he should be paying more, that's where the Court of Revision came in. The Court of Revision didn't come in to say whether the landlords in total were going to pay this or not. So that wasn't the right time to do it. Now, because of all this goes on, we're looking forward to the possible abandonment of this drainage works. And section 84 reads, if 3/4 of the owners of land assessed for benefit in respect of a drainage work, who according to the last reviewed assessment on the roll, own not less than 3/4 of the area assessed for benefits as shown in the bylaws or bylaws under which the drainage work exists, send a request asking for an abandonment of the whole or any part of the drainage work. The council of the initiating municipality shall, and the word is shall, not may, it's shall, as soon as reasonably possible, send a notice to all the owners of the land assessed for the drainage works, stating its intention to abandon the drainage works or part of the drainage works specified in the notice. Unless within 10 days of the date of the municipality's notice was sent, any owner sends a notice to the clerk of the municipality requesting the report be made on the proposed amendment. The council of the initiating municipality may send a notice in accordance with subsection 1 of its intention to abandon a drainage works or in a part of the drainage work specified in the notice, even if a request has not been sent in. So theoretically, we've got approximately, we're working on the rest right now. We have people working on this for us, and we will come up with the balance, but we're at about, I can say approximately 90% now of the property the requests that are going to do with this. We haven't put the official request in yet because we'd like to get some feedback from you. So the council of the initiating municipality may send a notice and yeah, I got that one. If an owner sends a notice to the clerk within 10-day period in accordance with the subsection, council shall appoint an engineer to examine the drainage works and report the recommendations as to the proposed abandonment of any necessary work and connection therewith, sale of any assets, cost of abandonment, and all other appropriate matters, and shall assess all costs, including the engineer's compensation, damage allowances against the persons liable to the assessment in connection with the drainage works in such proportions. So this is where we'd like to discuss and talk about this at a later point on how we would approach this. Abandonment by council. If we decide to do this, if we make the application of this, if no owner sent a notice to the clerk within 10 days, or if the engineer's report, as it may be altered on appeal, recommends abandonment of the drainage works, the council may, by bylaw, abandon the drainage works. And I understand this is a precedent that's already been set. There's been I believe the Harmon drain or a portion of the Harmon drain or one of those drains was, this was the part of the act that was used or that. Then we started back, and I know I'm kind of backing up a little bit here, but sorry, Kevin, Councillor Burke stated that it was when he's talked about administration costs to be assessed to the people on the drain, and that we can't allocate it to the ratepayers. They don't enjoy all the benefits of that drain, how the drainage works. He continued to say, as I said what I have to say, you have the option of organizing an abandonment of the drain, which I will lobby against because I don't believe it's in everybody's best interest. We're upset over this because Kevin Burke has stated that he will lobby against the abandonment of the drain because he does not believe it is in everybody's best interest. He is in conflict with Article 84 of the Drainage Act, which states, like I've previously read, and if no owner sends a notice to the clerk within a 10-day period in accordance, the council may by bylaw abandon the drainage works. We feel that this drain, if this drain runs through our property from start to finish, and we decide for some reason we'd like to let this drain go back to a natural stream, a natural water course, which has been since the beginning of time. It's only been designated as a drain since 1970. And to the best of my knowledge, every ratepayer, taxpayer, landlord, I don't designate them, has looked after this water course. To my knowledge, there has not been a problem with flooding. Everybody I've talked to said, oh yeah, we look after it, because bottom line is, if we contact the municipality and say we want something dug out, it's gonna cost a fortune. So we'd all like to see it go back, and we'll look after it ourselves, because we do understand the liability if water was to back up on our property and give somebody else a situation, then we could become liable. Anyway, we don't feel that we are going to get supported the way we should by Councillor Burke. Therefore, the municipality has no further obligation with respect to drainage works. Therefore, we are requesting that because of his statement, that he be removed from any further involvement in the resolution of this drain order of business, because we do not believe that he will comply with the wishes of the landlords. And the wishes of the landlords will be addressed and by the Drainage Act. So anyway, we'll wait for a resolution, some sort of report on, because we've asked for reconsideration on this. We'll give you, there's no problem there. We're not in a great rush here. So we can wait for resolution on your decision now that we have the whole delegation of the ratepayers. I believe there's 20 some odd property owners here out of probably maybe short 2 right now, possibly 3, maybe one little third one, I don't know, but I haven't checked with our people, so and we may even have them all. But anyway, just to let you know that that we do plan to proceed with this, and we'd like your support, and on the majority decision. So on behalf of the landlords, I wish to thank you for your attention to this issue. Thank you. And now Kazi, I believe, has something he'd like to bring forth on this too, please.
Thank you. Kazi?
Madam Chair, if I could respond to that quickly after Kazi has a few words to say there.
Yes. I think it'd be prudent if you would respond before, just because
Okay.
there's,
I'd like to while it's fresh there.
Yeah.
I hear you loud and clear, Harold, and you have to forgive me for my poor choice of words when I said lobby. It's your drain, and if the participants of the drain, or whatever you want to call them, want to abandon their drain, I'm not going to stand in your way. I personally, as a landowner that lives on a drain, abandoning a drain scares me, but you people are entitled to your opinion and your actions, and I understand how the mechanism works to abandon it. I'm not gonna organize against you. It wasn't my intent there. So if the landowners on the drain want to abandon the drain, then so be it. And that's what I have to say on that matter.
Hey, thank you, Kevin, on behalf of the landlords. I appreciate your response. And if we misinterpreted that or won through our conversation, I'm sorry about that as well.
You know
Again-
what? The conversation might have gotten a little heated, but again, forgive me for my poor choice of words. That's not my intent.
Thank you very much, and forgive us.
As well as
Okay.
myself, saying I believe, and we as council, we agreed on certain things. And when I say I did a poor choice as well. So it was including discussions with council. So moving forward from that, if we could get Kathy to speak, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good evening, council.
Good evening.
After I was done talking last week, the new councilor, what's her name, Edith, she seemed confused about, and I'm getting tired of talking about this, and you're getting tired of listening to me talk about it, but she was confused about Drain F, and she asked if it was associated with severances and that, and it's not. And Councillor Burke and you, Glenda, said about Drain F, whether it's there or not, above or below ground, it doesn't change the drain study, correct? Well, this is for Edith. According to AMAFRA, Ontario Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, I Googled what's a drain. You want to read along with me or you want me to read it? A system to move water. It is created to a bylaw similar to what you voted on, right? It's passed by a bylaw by the local municipality. The municipality is responsible for the construction of the drainage system, and maintenance repair is shared by landowners. Municipal drains are identified by municipal bylaw that adopts an engineer's report. These reports contain plans, profiles, specs. Remember you asked me about the papers there, A, B, C, D, and E. Profiles, specs, defining location, size, depth of the drain. Drains are ditches or closed systems. Means it could be tiled. They can include dikes, berms, pumping stations, buffer strips, grass waterways, stormwater retention, ponds, culverts, and bridges. Creeks and rivers can be considered drains. In 1980, the Mammoth Drain was adopted by council. There was no Drain F. There's no Drain F in that report. In 2020, Neil Morris of K-Smart Engineering, on his McGregor Drain description of the watershed, says after reviewing the 73 report of the McGregor Drain, significant changes to the watershed were done. The Mammoth Drain D, E, and F 1980 watersheds were also added to the McGregor Drain. So how did it end up in the McGregor Drain if it doesn't exist? It's not in the 1980 report. So I'm saying, that's why I keep coming back to Drain F, and Councillor Burke says he doesn't think it changes the drain study. I think it does, because something that wasn't voted upon, doesn't exist, is included. So the same thing should be said for the watershed. The watershed, basically north of the highway, is 3 square miles, and it's been reduced down to, let's say, 3/4 of a mile. Why? Why? I don't know. And why didn't after the hatchet job to the Mammoth Drain, why didn't it come with a new assessment schedule? It seems like a hatchet job. This council in, I don't know if it's this council, at council in 2019, when the Massey Drain came online, it took the Dixon Drain. It did not create a new watershed. The same, and it was done by this Neil Morris. So he knows what has to be done. Council knows what has to be done. So why was the Mammoth Drain carved up and included in the McGregor Drain? And when the Massey Drain came on, they took the whole watershed. So we're asking, we want to talk to the engineer. We want to know why all this stuff was done. It's not about severances, although severances have played a big part in it. It's what's going on. Why are drains being included that don't exist? Why is watersheds being shrunk? Why is there no assessment schedules for the people that are remaining on the Mammoth drain? That's all I've got to say. I just got questions and I would like some answers, please. That's all.
Kaz, it's Kevin here.
Yes,
On the subject of Drain F, the township has documentation to show that that Drain F existed back in 1980. I don't have it up on my screen here. I don't know if the clerk has that available to show to you, but there is
I
a
do.
Drain F.
There's a little bit of it.
I do. The file that we took out that I reviewed the documentation that had been provided to Mr. Burns, and what I provided to council after the last council meeting showed the original report of 1980. And then it showed an addendum to the Mammoth drain of April 1981. And in that one, what it did was it identified additional works, and in it, it says it shall be known as Drain F. And it was for the construction of an 805 meter open drain.
do you have that?
805 meters,
That's 2,400 feet.
no.
He says
No,
it doesn't
that
exist
doesn't go
on his
that far,
property, but I don't know.
Doesn't go that far.
All I saw about I didn't see the addendum.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
provided to you with
Oh.
with that report I gave you last
All I
year.
saw was the map that says it had been revised in April 16th, I believe, 1981. So I don't know. If I do, I apologize, but I don't remember seeing that.
I can provide it for you tomorrow if you'd like to show you what we have in the file anyway.
Yeah, well, all I have is whatever you gave me in last.
Yeah, it should be there then. See if you can find a document that's dated April 16th, 1981, and it's
Good.
entitled Mammoth Drain Addendum.
I've got June 1st. No, that's not even the right June. Okay, what was that, Kim? I'll write it down.
April 16, 1981.
Okay, that corresponds with the map that I've got.
Okay, and it's called the Mammoth Drain Addendum.
Okay, so if I find it,
Yep, I can
Yeah.
provide it to you too. Let me know tomorrow.
I will. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going back to Bucky, sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. This time we're on a little different topic. I have a major concern about the use of type 2 aggregates on the surfaces of our roads in the township. I know, well, first off, I don't know how many of you are aware with the OPSS standards. I deal with these every day. I probably handle 1 million tons of material a year. Anyway, so this is what I do between this and an equipment operator, safety and training. Type 2 material is a quarried material. Granular B is a quarried material. So these now, and your granular B type 2 passes a 3.5 inch square screen, which after it's been blasted. So a lot of these are elongated, what we call in the business, we call them elongated stones, elongated rocks. And we're not able to put them on the surface of a road. Even our mining roads, like this, because I do valets and I do reports for them, and we actually make recommendations to different material specifications for different applications. And if we put this type of material on the road, and we had one very, very extreme bad thing happen. One of our trucks that go up and down the road with these heavy loads had an impact break from a rock like this, and he was empty. Lucky he was empty. He was on the 4 lanes heading back towards Totten Mine for a loader, and he blew the front tire. The front tire blew. Now these tires were like not like over 50% tread. Now, lucky, 2 o'clock in the morning, no other traffic on the road. And the driver was able to, he was holding onto the steering wheel with both hands and not one. When the tire blew, it exploded, knocked the whole complete hood right off of the truck, blew the whole thing right out of it. And he handled as hard as he could to get stopped. It was the driver's side tire that this happened on, and he was on the shoulder, not in the ditch, but right at the edge of the ditch by the time he was able to get this stopped. So this is the kind of thing that can happen with using this kind of material and using it on the surface where it can get into one of your tires, because you can run over that stone and you don't know you've done it. You've broke the belts, you've done the damage. I talked to Mayor Gamble about this when I did see it on the road. And I said to him, this is on the Lacloche Lake Hill. And lo and behold, my wife calls me. I've got something happened to one of my tires on our truck. And we just put them on. And she said, I went over the hill. We're probably about a quarter mile away to where our residence is on the lake there. And it was like flat when I got there. So I took the tire off, took it down to Brian. Brian's sturdy, everybody knows Brian. I said, Brian, fix my tire. He says, you know what? He said, this tire isn't fixable. He said, you've got a rust here from a very big sharp stone, but it didn't appear that from the time I looked at it. So anyway, my next question is who pays for my tire? But not only that, but I feel very lucky that she was going in that direction. She could have been coming from Espanola, but we definitely should not be using this type 2 materials on the surface of our roads, even in the granular spec. Like this is like putting slivers, and you're going to have tire problems, and problems could result into, life-threatening damage. So I'd certainly like council to consider that.
Thank you for that. Seeing as we are not talking about the McGregor drain anymore, Mayor Gamble can make some comments if you'd like, or any other councillor regarding what you've just discussed.
Well,
I did also ask Jacques Mayu, our Public Works Crew Supervisor, to attend to address any inquiries as well on this matter, because I believe he also talked with Mr. Krabs on this situation.
Thank you, Kim.
Would you like?
This stuff was the same stuff we put on Birch Lake Road there, where we almost went to small claims court there to settle that. They put it on there and it wasn't even smooth. Then they went out and put a load of gravel on top of that, a crush there. Now, when you go to grade that hill, you'll be bringing up that stone there continuous because you only put a little small lift. That's a total disgrace there, especially when you got it on a hill.
May I add again? Thank you, Les. This is what, when Jacques and I talked about this, and he was going to put some granular A on top, I said, Jacques, like, I work with this material every day. You need to get that off of there, because those sharp stones are going to come to surface when you grade and you move the material around. They need to come off of there. They're meant to be 6 inches to a foot under the surface material of the road. They just need to be out of there, because now I've ruined a tire, and I talked to another person who tells me they had 2 of them too. Not on this particular site, but anyway, we need to address this situation. Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'll speak. This is Pat. A little while ago, we decided to no longer take any of the crushed rock out of our own quarry that we have on Hannah Road. And we no longer put that on our roads because of all the arrowheads that all of the people were getting into their tires. And I also had one in my tire, so I know it's very expensive to replace a tire. It's $300 and some. So I don't know why we're now taking it out of this Sansenberg pit to put it on our roads when we don't even put our own gravel or rock crushed rock on the roads now. This is not acceptable.
Any
Any
comments?
other comments, sir? Okay, seeing there's none there, Bucky, there, we got to rectify that problem there because there's only a skim of crush on it there and we got to get it straightened out there, especially when it's on a gosh darn hill.
Yes.
And that,
Thank you.
that same crushed rock also got put this fall on Goltz Road. And then
Yes,
I quit growing on that road because with my car, I've got really soft tires and I didn't want to have a flat.
On
Pat,
Goltz
you
Road,
said
on,
fall.
Pardon?
pardon me, on Goltz Road this summer, Pat?
Yeah, well, remember I asked you to put some rock on, some gravel on Goltz Road because it was pretty rough and messy, and I'm pretty sure that's what you put on there.
It did not come out of our quarry. That would have
Okay.
came out of, that would have come out of Sandsburg's quarry if it was last summer. And
Okay,
that's all been to spec and passed.
yeah, but the
quarry
same as
rock
that,
are-
that's the same as what we're getting now, and it's not passing as far as our ratepayers are concerned.
Well, we'll have to find another solution then, but,
May I comment on this?
the quarried rock on the hill at LaCloche Lake Road was there's two big bands of frost boil coming up there. And that was the only thing I could get on there to stabilize it enough. Fortunately, I couldn't cover it with crush right away until the next day to let the road settle, or I would have beat 4 miles of road up getting there. And I did get it covered up, but quarried rock, when it gets pounded into that hill's gonna stay forever.
May I comment on this?
Go ahead.
Okay. That particular place, there's what they call a slip going on there. That's rock, and there's a level of layer of clay between the aggregate surface material. So what's happened is in the spring of the year, the frost comes out of the clay turns soft, and the whole surface of the road can slide down the hill. And that's kind of what happens.
That's the reason I put the rock on there, Bucky, was to
When I
stabilize.
talked to Mayor Gamble today about this, he said, what would I believe? I talked to you as well about this. I said, I offered to go there. I said, I'll go there with your guys. And if you can supply me the tobacco, we'll remove that. That's not a lot. We'll remove that. It's a perfect time to do it because the clay is soft. It's like mud. It's easy to get out of there. I did this for the township on Mascot Road. They had one of the hills there did the same thing every year. And back when I was in the construction business and I went in there, that's exactly what I did. We took, rather than close the road, removed the slip, we filled it full of gravel. And I think to this date, that's never happened again there. We put a French drain off to the side. And that's what it needs. And it's not a big job. It doesn't take a long time. But putting Band-Aids on top of this absolutely doesn't fix the problem.
Well, my idea was to keep it passable and not have to close the road so people would have to park at Buckmill Road and walk in for a few weeks till it dried up.
I could have that.
I think it remained passable.
It does. But I think we could have kept it passable. Yeah,
Well, I got stuck with that.
I know
one
we could.
before.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Mike, I have a question. Are we
Go ahead.
getting what we're paying for from Sanftenburg?
When
Or
you-
are
when
we
you-
getting subgrade here?
Well, if you're looking at an OPSS spec of a granular B type 2, Kevin, that is a quarried material. And what I'm looking at, what I see on the road, from my best, I would not doubt that that's exactly what that is. That's a granular B type 2. I would recommend to the township, they used to use a granular A, but the granular A was 7/8. 7/8 is made with a 15/16 screen. And it has lots of that type of rock in it too, bigger rock and sharper rock. Now, if they come out with a new spec since there, they used to have a 5/8 B, they called it, and then granular A. But in the meantime, MTO has come out with an OPSS spec, the granular M material, which is 19 mil. To me, 19 mil material is the one to go. 19 mil is 3/4. When it's ground down to 3/4, a lot of those smaller rocks have gotten broken up because they're down to a different size. But the same thing applies to that. To put this granular M type 2 material, quarried material on the surface of the road, isn't best either. I looked at what you got from Carlisle because I bought a load off Carlisle to do my very own yard at camp. And like that for surface material, that material is excellent. I know the site, I know the pit, and I'm aware of everything there. And that was just excellent material. But to use the quarry material, I'm worried about something happening to somebody, a tire letting go, these knives and slivers going through and you know, having some kind of a catastrophic accident.
Well, thanks for your input, Harold.
Yeah, be more than willing anytime. Like, I know I'm not a wizard, but I've been around and I've done this, and this is what I do for a living. So anytime, I'm more than glad to work with you folks.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
I have
Okay.
one, Glenda. I have
Okay.
one. Did I understand Harold correctly? Is he saying we've got to take that material off of there?
Yes. Yes. It will come to the top. It won't stay down there.
Thank you for answering my question.
So Dale, I would assume you're gonna have a chat with Mr. Mayu about this?
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Right on.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your participation. I believe, is that it for our delegation tonight? Anything else to say? Bucky or Kazi, anything you'd like to say before we conclude and move on to our regular agenda?
I just have one comment, Glenda.
Okay,
Mr. Krabs asked who was going to pay for his tires, or his tire, I should say. He did ask that question.
I'll just answer that. This council implemented a claims policy in 2019 where there is a process, and it is available. I can hand it over to him if he wants to contact me.
yes, you're correct.
You cut out, Kim. I don't know if everybody caught that.
I heard everything there.
I heard everything. So there is a process, Kim, Dale, Kim said that you can contact the township office and for that.
Thanks.
Any other comments, questions? So I'll close this delegation and I will pass it back over to Mayor Gamble.
Okay, before we start the public meeting there, Edith there, Glenda made a comment there that I don't have a conflict there. I spent money out of my own pocket there already. The township has sent me a bill, almost $800 toward this drain. There's money being spent as we speak there on this drain there right now. So if you look up the rules and regulations, I do have a conflict of interest. So thank you for the comment there, Glenda. Okay, public meeting there, zoning bylaw.
Sorry,
Motion
Mr. Mayor, can I just interrupt for a minute?
Yes.
I'm looking at the people that we have attending our meeting, and I see both Sean and Monica Gallagher in attendance. Would it be okay if we did their consent application on F4 of the agenda for them so
Yes.
that they can proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so there was a application for 3 consents submitted, and the purpose of the application was to create 3 new lots in the rural zone. The first and second proposed severed portions are approximately 4 hectares in size, and the third severance is also about 4 hectares. The retained portion is approximately 47 hectares. The first and second severance have access from a seasonally maintained road, which is Wilkinson Road. Severance 3 and the retained portions have access from the year-round publicly maintained road Burns crossover. We did the municipal plan review with regards to the provincial ministries and their policies, and we do not see that there is any agricultural activity in the area. The subject property is affected by the toll and drain, which is a municipal drain. The subject property is adjacent to Crown lands, and so notice was given to them as an adjacent landowner. There are no other provincial planning policies that are of interest of this application. The circulation for this application was done in the roundabout on April 6, 2021, and it was also circulated to all adjacent landowners within 60 meters of the subject property. The application will provide for the creation of 3 new lots from 1 original lot. Therefore, as per section 3724 of our official plan, up to 3 lots may be granted for a lot existing as of the date of the plan, which was deemed to be February 3rd, 2003, excluding the retained lot. So at this time, this will conclude the number of new lots that can be created on this property. Everything conforms with the zoning. The access is available to a maintained seasonal road, which is also provided for in the official plan. Says that the lot shall have frontage on and direct access to a year-round maintained public road unless otherwise exempted as follows. A lot for any seasonal residential use may be created having access to a publicly maintained seasonal road, which we have that as Wilkinson Road. And I believe I circulated the draft motion of provisional approval to council as well.
Kim, if you look at the map there, there was 3 lots or 4 lots taken off that parcel. When were they done?
They were done much earlier than the 2003 timeframe we had specified in the official plan.
Okay, so they got exempt there from the.
That's right. They
This
were able
parcel?
to do, yeah, they were able to do these 3 more severances because of that time frame that lapsed.
Okay, because under the rules there now, you're only allowed 3 plus the 1.
That's right.
Has anybody got any concerns in regards to this application?
I have a few questions.
Yes,
As your new neighbor, welcome to the neighborhood, Sean and Monica, because you're going to be bordering my property. The one question I have is Wilkinson Road. Kim referred to it as a seasonally maintained road, but it's not. As it is, it's an unmaintained road.
Well, it's shown on all of our planning documentation to be seasonally maintained.
Okay, well, it hasn't been maintained since I live here anyway. And so that might be a point of concern. Now, if somebody builds on those lots, are they responsible to upgrade that road? Like, you have to remember there's citizens in our township right now that are looking to have road upgrades and
Yeah.
winter maintenance and whatnot. And I just want to make sure that whoever's getting into this is ready for the cost, because
Well,
it's not going to be borne by us.
Right. The approval states that we are going to allow for the creation of 1 new lot in the rural zone and 2 new seasonal residential use lots as well. So with the lots being created with that designation and then only seasonal building permits permitted on them, that's what the official plan says, that that's permitted.
Okay. I mean, they have to accept that road the way it is then. Or
We
do
acknowledge that we
or do-
understand the situation and we accept, sorry, thank you for having us, folks. This is Sean Gallagher.
Okay.
We acknowledge and accept the situation as explained. Your advisement of the current situation of the road and what needs to happen in order for a new buyer, for example, into to that road, they will be made aware of the road situation and the current rules surrounding it.
Okay. I look at Wilkinson Road and I look at River Valley Road, and River Valley Road is a seasonally maintained road, and there's a lot of difference between those 2 roads. So
I'll help you out with this one, my friend. My daughter and I went and put a whole bunch of chainsaw and elbow grease into that road recently, and we've cleaned it up some.
Great. I just don't want false expectations by whoever buys the property.
I agree with that, Kevin. I don't want to run into a situation where we're having future buyers or buyers now asking for it to be, year round and running into that kind of issue.
Our
But
staff
every
is
time we
always
do it
think-
on a seasonal road there, it happens there because it happened on Temperance Valley Road there in Lee Valley, and it's happened behind waterfalls, so it happens everywhere, so.
But
part
we
of our
haven't
doing
judged-
business.
My issue here, though, is that if you go and look at that road, that's not a seasonally maintained road, you know? And we're gonna be taken to task that it is at some
Well,
point by
that's
somebody.
being said.
I don't think Sean and Monica are not taking us to task on that, but should somebody buy that property, they're gonna say, well, this is supposed to be a seasonally maintained road, and it's not, like.
To be fair,
So-
could we not take the municipality to task on that?
Pardon me, Sean?
To be fair, could we not at this time, being a landowner along a full kilometer length of that road, could we not? Being that it is labeled as seasonally maintained, we are not currently, but is that an option? I'm asking because I have no idea.
Well, what does the sign say on the road?
To be fair, I don't even know.
I don't know that it says that it's seasonally maintained. Kim, go ahead.
I was just going to say that any roads that we have deemed unopened or unmaintained are stated so.
Okay.
This one has been on our planning documents as a seasonally maintained road for a long time. And perhaps the reason it's in the condition it's in because it hasn't been needed. I don't know.
Well, get ready to do some work then.
But it should say that in the schedule of conditions there.
Well, as a seasonal residential use lot that's being approved, that will be the only use of it is seasonal. We won't allow for a building permit on a year-round basis.
In
What-
saying
Okay,
not
go ahead.
X, then they have do they have a right to require that, to bring it up to seasonal? Some of the roads that I see have no maintenance beyond this point, that kind of thing. Those are the only signs I see as far as road signs go. But yeah, that would be something that I would like to know if that would be a condition, whether we would have to bring it up to the seasonal road.
Well, again, if I can comment, what constitutes a seasonally maintained road? Because I'll tell you, that's not much more than a quad trail right now. Now, I haven't seen anything since Sean says he did some work with chainsaws and that, but I'm talking about fill and gravel and whatnot, for as far as that second 10-acre lot. Is it 2 or 3 10-acre lots? But I mean, we're gonna get stuck with some cost there if that's in the books as a seasonally maintained road.
Couple of years ago, we put some monies concerning gravel surfacing onto Gravel Pit Road, which is off Birch Lake Road. And the other designation for a seasonal road, I think, is twice graded through the season.
Okay.
It can be happen.
Well-
It can happen. They just need some gravel and some grading.
Okay. I mean,
Could not too,
You'll have to
so,
get Jock to look at
hi.
it.
hi, Monica.
Hello,
We'll just have to get
thank you
Jock to
for
look at
having
it.
us tonight. It's also too, like, there are other options as well too, where people come in with private roads, but there are other places, I believe, within your municipality that I think Campbell Road, right on the S corner of Lee Valley Road, it would kind of be a similar situation. But we do, it kind of is a good opportunity for the townships to expand and allow for people to come in and perhaps do things. I think this is, it's a good thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a huge cost to the township.
No, I just want everybody to be aware that there will be some cost to us. And I mean, I don't mind the neighborhood at all. Caldwell's Corners here is becoming a neighborhood on its own, and I kind of like that, you know. But we are gonna
Yeah,
incur
and
some
we
costs.
specifically made sure that the lots were really big in order to keep, you know, with conformance of what everybody else is doing out there.
I have no more questions. I just wanted to address the condition of the road there. Again, welcome to the neighborhood.
Anybody got any other comments?
I wonder if we should. Go ahead, Glenda.
I was just gonna say, I really do not want to deter the growth of our township. Definitely. I just would like some more clear, a clear picture of what a seasonal road entails for when we do have these issues come up. We just need some clarity on what it, you know, what it would require. That's
What I was gonna say is maybe we should take a look at that road in the next few days or early next week and come up with a little bit of a plan or an idea so that we can proceed with this.
I agree, Ken. I agree, Dale.
Yeah, I agree. Dale,
Okay.
you're Public Works Chair. Speak
Also
to
good.
Jacques and
I
Yeah.
wrote it down. I'll just have a discussion with Jacques tomorrow if he's available and has time. And we'll see what we can do to take a little bit of a view and get back to council on that.
I think that it's pretty solid ground. We're not looking at excavating or anything like that, but it's gonna take a few layers for sure. So I just want to make sure everybody was ready for that because it's not, like I said, pretty much a quad trail. So.
But the resolution should spell that out there. Would you not think?
Yeah. Let's look at, see what it says there.
You're just talking the road allowance to 33 feet from the center of the road there, and it's a public road there that doesn't address their seasonal or any class of the road.
Well, the
But it's on their
suggestion is
map.
it's seasonal.
It's on the map that it's seasonal.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was just getting at as well, Pat.
Yeah.
But as a lawyer there,
And you're
all they
saying
look at is this resolution.
So you're saying the resolution should include that it is a seasonal road instead of like to be specific, correct?
Well, to cover our ground there, cover us there, the municipality.
Would you like me to add a new number 3 as a condition, indicating that it is understood that Wilkinson Road is a seasonal road and not winter maintained, and there are no intention to provide winter maintenance?
I'd like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask that Jacques and I take a look at this first before we make that decision, if possible.
I'd like you to.
Okay, so would you like me to change the provisional approval to a deferral until the next council meeting?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes, please.
So I have a
Sorry about
resolution.
that, Sean.
I just hope that Mr. and Mrs. Gallagher don't understand that we're not allowing them to have their subdivision or their lots divided up, that we just want to get our language proper in all the paperwork.
Thank you for that
Correct.
acknowledgement. We do understand that there is some hoops to jump through, but we do stand also by time is dollars.
Yeah.
So I
Wow.
have the resolution that says, be it resolved that consent application file numbers C2107, 08, and 09 as applied for by Sean and Monica Gallagher be deferred pending review of the seasonal status of Wilkinson Road to be reviewed at the May 12th council meeting.
Kim, can you put both roads on that resolution there?
Burns crossover as well?
Well, it'd be nice to have it on there just to tell them what it is there.
This is just,
Spell
we're
it out
just,
black and white there.
yeah, but this is just deferring it until they can go look at the status of the road, correct? Is
Yeah,
that
but
is that what we're doing? Okay.
And it's not the condition of Burns Crossover Road that's in question here, it's Wilkinson Road.
That's
So-
right.
Okay, so I have it so that the consents be deferred pending review of the seasonal status of Wilkinson Road to be reviewed at the May 12th council meeting. So at that time,
Perfect.
we can bring back more information and you can make your decision on the consent.
Perfect.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
you'll move
second.
it there. Who will second it?
Kevin will
Kevin,
second.
Kevin will second it there.
I'm
Kevin,
actually
you're for it
confused.
there. Edith, for or against?
For.
Pat, for or against?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl?
You might have lost her signal again.
Yeah, Dale, you're in favor of that?
Yeah,
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Thank you, Sean and Monica there. We'll get back to you ASAP there.
If I may make one more point, I'm kind of confused as to the reasoning behind we understand and the zoning is applied to what the road is currently assigned or labeled as. I'm wondering why the approval would not, why would it be held up based on the condition of the current road? The zoning isn't going to change. The where we put the lot lines isn't going to change.
I
Yeah, but
think
Sean,
because
we dealt with this before there, and once the engineer or the lawyer get involved there, that's where the problem starts, because the Temperance Valley Road was a prime example there. He wanted that road brought up to standard there. And in behind Waterfalls, they're after us there to bring that road up to standard there and plow it year round. So it's the same situation we got ourselves into before there. So if it's spelled out in a resolution there, and there's no questions asked at the end of the day, that's the reason.
10-4, understood. Thank you kindly.
Okay, getting back to the public meeting. That the council meeting is now adjourned for the purpose of a public meeting there. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Kevin, I'll move.
Kevin will move it there.
Glenda second.
Glenda will second it there. Kevin, you're for it. Edith?
For.
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda?
Favor.
Cheryl? Dale?
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor. Motion carried.
We've still got a lot to do here. Could we have like a 5-minute break?
Well, can we deal with this first there? We started it there and then we can adjourn for a couple minutes here. Okay.
Okay.
Shall now hold a public meeting pursuant to section 34 of the Planning Act to consider proposed zoning bylaw amendments. A resolution is passed stating the council meeting is adjourned, which you just did, and the resolution is passed stating that public meeting is now officially open. Okay, be it resolved that pursuant to section 34 of the Planning Act, the public meeting is now officially open for the purpose of hearing comments regarding the proposed amendment to the zoning bylaw to the township of Sables-Spanish Rivers as follows. File number ZBA 21-01 is applied for by Dan and Carmen Prue for the property in Victoria Township, section 17, parcel 53M1278-6, plan 53M-1278, lot 6 at 51 Sunset Bay Drive. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Glenda.
A seconder?
Pat will second.
Pat will second it there. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith,
I'm for.
Pat?
In favor.
Yeah, Glenda, you're in favor. Cheryl's, she's still off? Dale?
I'm in favor.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Advise as to the methods, Kim, by which the notice of the meeting was given and the date that the notice was given.
The notice of this public meeting was advertised on April 6, 2021 in the local publication of the Round and About, and it was circulated to the various prescribed agencies and landowners within 120 meters of the subject property. So the purpose of this application is to provide for an increased height of an accessory building. The zoning bylaw provides a maximum building height of 6 meters or 20 feet. The property owner is requesting for an increased height of 8.5 meters or 28 feet to construct a 1,280 square foot garage with a loft. He went 8.5 meters just to be sure he was going to get what he didn't want to have to come back just in case he was a foot short. So pursuant to Section 8 of the application form, the applicant has consulted with neighbors by email as part of their public consultation with the neighborhood, and no concerns were raised from that. The official plan policies for Resource Recreation District provide for residential use. This property has been developed as a residential property, and this application shall have no impact on policies regarding lake development capacity and lake management.
I have a question, Kim.
Yes.
I guess it's the third paragraph of the proposal dealing with Section 8.
Yes.
And we've seen where the applicant has consulted with the neighbors. Do we end up with any evidence or proof of that in case somebody comes forward later and says, I had no idea and I don't want this? This is after the building's up already, I mean?
Most of the time that they give us a copy of what they have circulated. And in this one, we've just gotten the written confirmation that they've had no objections.
I just wonder where we stand liability wise.
It's not it's not a matter of, I mean, we still give public notice regardless, and those same people were given public notice from this office as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions, anybody?
No.
Meets all our conditions there, so I have no problem with it there. Okay. Be it resolved that the public meeting is now officially closed and the council meeting is reconvened there. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Glenda
I'll
move.
move and I'll second it, Dale.
Okay. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith?
For.
Pat?
In favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl? Dale's in favor?
Yeah.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Okay, whereas the council is satisfied that the notices were given in accordance with the Planning Act respecting zoning bylaw amendments, file number 21-01 is applied for by Dan and Carmen Prue for the property in Victoria Township, Section 17, parcel 53M-1278-6, Plan 53M-1278, Lot 6 at 51 Sunset Bay Drive. And whereas sufficient information has been made available for the public to understand generally the zoning proposal being considered, be it resolved that due consideration of the proposed bylaw has been given and council hereby concludes that this application shall be approved effective of the public submissions, and there was none received. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Kevin will move.
Kevin
Glenda
will
will
move it, Gary.
Glenda second.
Glenda will second it.
Yes.
Kevin's for it. Edith, for or against?
In favor.
Pat?
Pat in favor.
And Glenda, you're in favor? Cheryl, you in the air yet?
No.
Dale? Dale?
I'm in favor. I'm in favor, Les.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Okay, be it resolved that bylaw 2021 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw for the property in Victoria Township be read a first and second time. Mover and a seconder?
Pat will move.
Pat will move it.
Glenda
Dale
will
will
second.
second.
Dale will second it.
Thank you.
Kevin, for or against?
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Glenda,
Glenda in favor. Glenda in favor.
Cheryl, Dale,
I'm in favor.
and I'm in favor. Motion carried. Be it resolved that bylaw 2021-21 being a bylaw to amend the zoning bylaw for the property in Victoria Township be read a third and final time and passed in open council. Mover and the seconder.
Glenda,
Kevin, you'll second it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Kevin's for it. Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Glenda,
in favor.
Cheryl, Dale,
I'm in favor.
and I'm in favor. Motion carried. Okay, can we adjourn for a couple of minutes there? Because Kevin wants to.
Thank you. Thank you. If I'm the only one, then please carry on.
Is everybody else back?
Pat is here.
I'm back.
Dale, are you there? And Edith?
Edith's not yet. She's not back yet.
I'm back, Les.
Is Edith back yet?
I don't see her on her screen.
No, not yet, by the looks of it.
My cursor wouldn't seem to bring me back there. I finally remember that little pencil.
Oh, you're using the tablet.
Yeah, and I've got our agenda and all the articles on my screen on my laptop, Kevin.
Oh yeah, right on.
I'm using two devices.
My laptop's getting severely slow, man. It's like,
Yeah, I'm using my phone and my iPad because the laptop is just, it cuts out all the time. So, yeah.
there's Edith.
There she is. Welcome back,
Okay.
Edie.
Thank you. Nothing's further away than it looks.
So what is it, Edie or Edith?
I go by Edie.
Okay,
I get
Perfect.
in trouble is when I go by Edith. So yeah.
okay, that's no problem. I just want you to be comfortable. So
Thank you.
Okay, Kim, you want to start there? A1, please.
Okay, the item A1 on the agenda is the Finance Committee report. Ruth is here if anyone has any questions or needs clarification on what was dealt with.
No, looks good.
I know
Yep.
there's a resolution somewhere, but I don't know where it is there.
Would you like me to read one, Les?
Yeah, go ahead there, because I don't see it there in this package here unless it come out somewhere else there.
Be it resolved that the attached Finance Committee meeting report of April 19, 2021 be accepted.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Yeah, I'm asking for a recorded vote there because I have a problem with the Finance Committee recommends the following resolution be passed by the next council meeting. Be it resolved that Public Works be authorized to participate in a group tendering with the manager. That's in this agenda, this Finance Committee report there.
Yes, it's also on their agenda as its own separate resolution. This was just a recommendation. So
Okay.
it doesn't reflect in it being done because I do have it on the agenda as a separate resolution.
Okay, but it's in this package because I got the package right in front of me there. Okay.
Okay,
Kevin, can I have a mover and a seconder?
I moved it.
will
Les.
move.
yeah,
Pat will
Dale
move.
already moved it.
Oh,
We did Dale and Glenda already.
Right.
Kevin, you're for, against?
I'm for.
And Edith,
For it.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Glenda,
In favor.
Cheryl? Dale?
I'm in favor.
Okay, motion carried. The treasurer's compliance report there? Does anybody have any questions in regards to that?
Pat has no questions.
No, I have no questions.
Glenda, I have no questions either.
Edie, I have no.
Okay, I'll read the resolution. Be it resolved that council adopt a compliance report for the expenses excluded from the 2021 budget outlined in the treasurer's report dated April 23rd, 2021 as requirement of Ontario Regulation 284-09 passed under the Municipal Act 2001. Mover and a seconder?
Kevin, I'll move.
Kevin will move it there. Seconder?
Glenda.
Glenda? Kevin's for it there. Edith?
I'm for.
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl? Not on. Dale?
I'm in favor.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Okay, in regards to notice of a 2021 budget there. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation and Township of Sables-Spanish River hereby give notice of its intention to adopt the 2021 annual budget pursuant to Section 290 of the Municipal Act, SO 2001-C25 at the regular meeting on May the 12th, 2021. A mover and a seconder?
I'll move
Pat
it.
will move. Pat moves.
Yeah,
Pat will move
Dale's-
it there.
yeah,
Kevin or Dale
second.
will second it there.
Please, yeah.
Kevin, are you for or against?
I'm for it.
Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Linda,
In favor.
Cheryl? Dale?
I'm in favor.
Motion carried. Okay, the La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association meeting report there. Did everybody look at that there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. Item 1 is of particular interest to me because I keep seeing tractor trailers coming down this road and I'm concerned with Lee Valley Bridge.
When I brought this issue up to the OPP, she was very willing to help us out with this and to provide enforcement on Lee Valley Road. I'll have to contact her again. I told her the situation. I told her what our plan was for the bridge in light of the highway construction this year. And I said, if, you know, we have to close it, it's going to be a big detriment to all travelers. So we would really like some assistance on this to keep the heavy trucks off of that bridge. And I know that we were just talking in the office today, and I think Jacques is working with Amanda to get some signage made for either end of Lee Valley Road as
Good.
well.
Good.
Yes, Kim spoke up very clear and concise about this matter at that meeting.
Great.
But the trouble is there, if anybody goes to court or pushes our plow truck there is overweight there. Our grader's overweight. A tandem there hauling a load of gravel is overweight, even if it's empty. That individual lives there right beside the towing farm there. The farmer there, just his tractor's overweight. So are we penalizing everybody that lives on that road there that needs services? Because if the oil truck comes, it's overweight.
How it is that we, as a township, do not service that road, even though our vehicles happen to be overweight. If we don't service the road's not open. These, you know, so what do you do there?
Well, that's what I'd like to know.
Well, it's
Mhm.
something we've been doing for a number of years now as well. You know, when did we downgrade the capacity of that bridge? 3 years ago now? 2 years ago?
And
I think it was 2
Three.
years.
A little over 2 years.
did the engineer not look at that bridge last year?
Yes.
Thank you.
But I just don't want the municipality tarred and feathered there because we're gonna
No.
pick on one individual there. And we got the same problem on the River Road there.
Yes.
10-ton limit there, and there's vehicles going over that tomorrow morning that are overweight. And if somebody complains there, are we going to be tarred and feathered there because our equipment or the people we hired there? Just trying to protect our people that we've
Yeah.
got there, a garbage truck or a fuel truck there or somebody.
Yeah, I don't know that in discussing this La Cloche Foothills meeting, I don't know if this is the proper place to discuss that, but yeah, we need to, you know, I don't know where to go from here.
Yeah.
We're not doing the bridge this year. We've been putting up with that bridge for a couple years now.
Mm.
No, I don't think we're trying to single any one person out for violating the capacity of the bridge, but I mean, there are ways around. You can go out Pleasant Valley or you can go out Burns Crossover Way, so.
I will follow up with the OPP though, and with regards to this conversation we had, and just to bring that back to the forefront in their.
Well, and the
schedule.
big concern is that it's going to be the shortcut in the highways under construction.
Yes.
It's always
I think this is a discussion we should have had a year ago.
Yeah, even two, and we did, but it was pretty short and sweet. So
Yes.
I
Okay,
do
has anybody got any other concerns?
I do. This police board composition. Are we rethinking the composition of the police boards now? Is that
Well,
what this is about?
We're required, we've been advised that we're required to establish a police service board for a detachment
Okay.
area.
Okay.
And I had provided council with some background information on it for item, oh, I guess I put it all under the same one, under the La Cloche foothills. So we have to do this as a detachment area. And we are doing this through the La Cloche foothills because it's the best avenue that the municipalities can discuss this and work together on it. La Cloche foothills has gone through this quite extensively over the past year or so. Council's been given some of the information from the ministry over that time with regards to how they're going to be coming up with this. So each detachment area had to come up with their proposal. So this was the best proposal that we felt would work for our detachment area. So the 10-member police service board proposal, the chart is attached that I had provided to you. And it shows both council members, provincial appointed civilians, and council appointed civilians from each Espanola, Sables-Spanish, Baldwin, Nairn. And then we have also included as other rural areas such as the Whitefish Falls area, Sagamok, and the Manitoulin Municipal Association, which will also have a seat on this board.
But when it comes to council appointed civilians there, I wish they would have put the two there. Espinola's getting one and Sables-Spanish would have put that at large there and let people put their names forward. Because we don't know who lives in Baldwin or who lives in Nairn or who lives in Whitefish Falls. There could be ex-OPP officers there that will help this organization out there in the end.
Well, the council appointed civilian will be from our municipality. And the same with Espanola.
I understand that, and that gives equal representation, but I also understand the member at large where everybody from each municipality can vote on whether they stand by this person as a civilian member. But also too, it could be people we absolutely don't know. So I don't know. Maybe the best bet here is to select from our municipality. I don't know. What does everybody else think?
Well, the non-elected appointments will be made by our council for our member.
Yes.
Yes.
But should we, like, is this written in stone already?
No, but it's a proposal that's going to the ministry.
And so I understand what Les is saying here. If we took civilians at large,
yes,
as the non-council members on the board.
Yeah, and they would make up 20% of that board.
Yes.
Yes.
And so what's the best model for us? What's the best model for us? Is it?
This has been determined to be the best model from the La Cloche Foothills Association. This is what they're recommending to all of our municipalities.
Okay, well, what does the rest of the council think?
So when we have don't we let the people put their names forward as an application to be a civilian representative, and then we can choose who we think would be the best fit for the municipality?
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So everybody's got, if somebody's interested in being on this civilian appointed position, they have to put their name forward, and then we decide if it's good.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
All proposals have to be aren't submitted until the ministry until June 7th. That's the deadline for that. So this isn't going to happen overnight. This is something that they're working with and having to determine. But they, instead of them determining our service board composition, they've asked the detachment area municipalities to propose what they would foresee would work in our own areas.
And so another question here. What happens if the people that put their names forward are not, in our opinion, somebody we think should be on the board?
Right now, there's no criteria on how those are to be selected. Maybe you can solicit yourself to individuals that you believe would be beneficial on that committee. Until it's all finalized, we don't know what criteria there will be, if any.
Okay.
That's why I'd like to have the two of them at large there, and because there could be people out there that we don't even know that have a background in this field. And as long as they're going to represent the La Cloche foothills there, this area there, who cares?
Well, but wouldn't we want comments site specific to Sables-Spanish Township? You know, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Les, but if this, let's say this person's from Narren, they're not going to know site specifically, not as easily, you know, as somebody living right in our township, I think.
Yeah, but you got a council appointed person there on there as well.
Yes.
I realize that, but again, it's looking for 2 members out of our township, according to this chart I'm looking at. And wouldn't it be diligent on our part to invite ratepayers to put their name forward if they should be interested?
We could still do it even if they're at large, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. And I would assume that we would get somebody remotely qualified to do it.
Well, unless we put in a clause that ratepayers will have first consideration or something, but we open it to the public at large, and just state that ratepayers of our township may end up with first consideration. I think
No, but you see, you can't, because if you open it up at large, then you open it up for the whole board, La Cloche Foothills, which includes the civilian members from Espanola, from Narren, from Baldwin.
Right now, like I said, there's no criteria set out right now for this because this is just the proposal stage. But perhaps the non-elected council appointed civilian can be from anywhere, and it's our council that's appointing them. It doesn't specifically mean it's going to be for just our municipality. They're going to be on this board to serve the whole detachment area altogether.
I realize that.
Like I said, I'm not sure. This is still at the proposal stage. We don't have any documentation or criteria.
I was just looking at the June 7th deadline. I just thought we don't have time to put 2 postings out. That's all, like, you know, put one out, be unsuccessful in it, and then post it at large.
No, the La Cloche Association isn't anywhere near looking at that. They're just looking to get an approved proposal that we could submit to see if the ministry will accept it.
Okay, sorry, I misunderstood, Kim. Thanks for clarifying that.
Okay.
Any other questions, anybody?
No.
Okay, be it resolved that attached La Cloche Foothills Municipal Association meeting report of April the 12th, 2021 be accepted there. Mover and a seconder.
Glenda.
Oh, Edie was up.
Oh.
Yeah, Edith there, move it there. Seconder.
Glenda.
Okay, Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith is for it, Derek. Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda?
Favor.
Cheryl? Dale?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Okay, be it resolved, the Township of Sables-Spanish Rivers is in favor of the proposed 10-member police board, services board for our OPP detachment area, as shown on the attached chart, as recommended by the Cloche Foothills Municipal Association, that the town of Espanola shall be the municipal lead to submit the proposal. A mover and a seconder.
Dale here. Okay, I'll
Dale
second
will
it.
move
then,
it there, and Pat will second it.
Okay.
Kevin, you're for or against?
I'm for.
Edith?
I'm for.
Pat, you're for it, Jerry?
Yes.
Linda?
In favor.
Cheryl? And Dale?
In favor.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried. Okay, senior of the year. And the youth there, anybody got any names there that they want to bring forward there to start the topic?
I think Kim's
For
included all
youth
that.
there was two, yeah, but you got to, we got all the names, but you got to start, somebody's got to start forward, putting a name forward there to see if anybody's interested to. Because, yeah, there was two letters there in support of the Wegler young lady there, and she's an excellent employee there that's working at the library there. So is there any other names or anybody got any,
Are we doing the juniors right now?
yes, the youth there.
Okay.
So yeah, we have what, three or four or five
Yes.
youth.
Yes. They're all good, excellent people
Yeah,
that volunteer and give to this municipality.
So how do we choose?
So
I
Terrence
guess-
Fairburn has been a very big help over at the rink in Webwood, and he's also been a very big help at a lot of the carnival days that happen in Webwood.
I
with the
agree.
July 1st celebrations and stuff.
He is very proactive and he is actually known. Some of the things that weren't on that is he quietly will go and pick up garbage or clean at seniors' places and ditches and not even say a word about it. He kind of just, it gets noticed without him expecting anything. And he's a quiet, good young man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got two.
What do you mean?
two
Well, the
brothers.
mayor has suggested Morgan and I have suggested Terrence.
Okay. Well, there's also the others. There's Logan Emery. Like, I mean, I don't know the kids personally, so it's kind of tough for me.
Mhm.
I think they're all good candidates.
Well, yeah, by the looks of it.
I would go with Terrence. I think they're all great, but
Yeah, they all look
in-
great.
one, so
Okay.
yes.
Let me throw something out there. The whole pandemic thing has been a real struggle for the kids, and it will continue to be a real struggle. And so, in recognition of those struggles, and I would like to see us nominate all 5 of them as junior citizens of the year.
I think there was one though that didn't meet the age criteria. I don't know if that has.
He was too young, right? I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's just simply too young. So I think he could, have something to look forward to as he ages.
Okay. Yeah, I did forget that. But does everybody get what I'm saying there?
I do understand. Yeah.
What rules do we have to abide by for this?
Mhm.
This one is council initiated, the Youth Volunteer Award. This isn't one that the province has any criteria or rules set
Well,
out.
then
So we could
Kevin's
kind of make our own rules for this year.
Kevin's idea sounds good.
And I
In
think
line-
we need to emphasize that when we proclaim our when we make our proclamation about that, we need to emphasize, see it, the struggles through the pandemic and whatnot.
Extenuating circumstances, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, I think we got to be a little more specific and mention the pandemic.
Yeah.
And the struggles of all youth in our townships. We're happy to recognize these 4 individuals as Youth Citizens of the Year.
That sounds good, Kevin.
Great.
I agree.
I'll be contacting you to do my letter,
Okay.
Kevin. That sounded
No,
really good.
no problem. No problem. I'll see what I can whip up. When do I have to have it for you?
It's okay.
Oh,
We'll
We can
work on
wait
it.
5 minutes for you, Kevin.
Well, I'm not
Okay.
too creative.
I'll read the resolution. Be it resolved that all participants to be the 2021 recipients of the Youth Volunteer Awards, and that we wish to thank all people that contribute there, the nominees there for our community, and look forward to many years of community involvement and participation. A mover and a seconder.
Pat
Just
will
got
move.
one. I had a
Pat will
question.
move it there.
Yeah, I'll wait for a second.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dale.
I'm sorry, I'm out of turn here. I just wanted to ask the question, that young man that's a year or two too young, are we going to include him in this? I just wanted clarification.
No, he's not
I
old
think we
enough.
should.
Huh?
So actually, if his name was entered and the rules are written right on the application sheet, maybe we can't accept it. I don't know.
That's
I don't
right.
want to be the
Yeah.
one to bear that responsibility though, but
Yeah.
That's how
He
I
can
understood
apply
it
again.
when I was reading it, yeah.
His name can be brought forward again.
Honorable mention to this one
Yes.
who's coming.
there's an idea.
Yeah,
Yep,
good, Glenda. Yeah.
I think we should include that in all of ours, like honorable mention to whoever was nominated, and then have the person that we choose. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to do them all in?
Well,
Yes.
everybody except the underage one.
I'm open
Yes.
to either way.
Yes.
With an honor, I think it was suggested an honorable mention for the underage person.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
But-
Yeah.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have a mover and a seconder?
Well,
I'll
Pat
move it.
moved.
Pat will move it there. Seconder?
I'll
Glenda,
sec-
Glenda seconded. Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith?
Or,
Pat's in favor. Glenda's in
Pat's in
favor.
favor.
Cheryl, are you on the air? No. Dale?
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor. Motion carried.
So
In
this,
regards to the senior of the year,
this one is specific, and nominations are to be received by the Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration, Ontario Honors and Awards Secretariat until April 30th for the annual Senior of the Year Award.
I nominate Phyllis Kutchke. The write-up was very good, and we all know how much she has done for this community over the many, many years that she has been a Legion member and a community member.
I agree.
I guess I just want to make mention of Mr. Sandy Yaw, and I guess it's because of the age that he's at. I guess I'm just thinking that I'd like to see him get it while he's still with us.
Well, I gotta say, I can't, I have to mention Brian Shannon. He's done much to create harmony at the Ag Society and try to build relationships with the township, and that continues. I think he's done a good job. Brian can be controversial at times, but that's okay. So what do we do? Vote on it?
well, we got to see if there's any other names there. There's 3 already.
Well, there's also Christine Berry, I believe.
Garnet McKee.
Garnet McKee, yes.
In looking at all of it, I just see Sandy Yaw with a longer history. And like I say, I believe he's the most senior of the eligible candidates. So I would have to make a motion in favor of granting him the Senior of the Year award.
Anybody else comment there? Is everybody in agreement or?
Well, I don't know.
They're all
I definitely recognize Sandy's contributions, but I don't know about lately.
Well, lately, I'll say right up until last fall, I know because I bought his produce at the museum. And it was 2 years ago that the Sagamok Walleye Classic took place. And he worked at the arena some years ago, and I stood on the Ag Society board when he was the president and ran the Massey Fair. And I was also a charter member of the Massey Lions, which has been folded for about, I think, 8 years now. And it was 10 years preceding that he helped, him and Marvin Moss helped put that together. And as far as I know, the River Road Cemetery, that's been since he's been out there, since there's been monuments there for him to take care of.
Well, does anybody second that?
I still like Phyllis.
Yeah, and I like Brian. Anybody?
I like them
second?
all.
Yeah. Well, and again, I'd almost like to do the same thing we did with the youth, but I think Kim said it has to be specific because it goes to the province. So.
Okay, well, I made a motion. Does anybody second it?
Seeing there's no seconder there, in regards to Phyllis Kutchke,
Pat will move.
And I
who's
will
going to second it?
I will second.
You'll second it. Okay, we'll vote on
Yes.
it there, and if it's defeated there, or carried, we'll go that way. Be it resolved that Phyllis Kutchke be the 2021 recipient of the Senior of the Year Award, and that we wish to thank her for her dedication and contribution to enriching the social, culture, and civic life of our community. No other comments, nobody? Kevin, for or against?
I'm against.
Edith?
I don't know any of the applicants. It's a tricky thing to go off of just the paperwork. I'm against at this point. I'll reread.
Pat, you're for or against?
I'm in favor.
Glenda?
I'm in favor.
Cheryl, you're off the air. Dale?
I'm not in favor only because I believe Phyllis is young and can take this Senior of the Year award in the next coming years.
So I'd like to move that we nominate Brian Shannon for Senior of the Year.
Well, we didn't finish all the votes on the last person yet.
That was a
Yeah.
motion,
Yeah,
we
we
finished.
did. We did.
No, we didn't vote
Oh,
on it.
no, we
I'm
did.
for it there.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
The motion is carried there, but I don't want their hard feelings after this is all done there, because they're all excellent employees there, or people there that contribute to this municipality. Brian
Exactly.
Shannon does
Well,
an excellent job. Garner
how,
McKee, holy camoli, the church there and every senior there respects him
This-
for his contribution. So they're all excellent people there. So
I
Did
don't
you say
think
the
that
motion was carried, Les?
I don't think this
How-
motion was carried. I think this motion
No.
was a tie.
Yes,
no, Pat there, Glenda there,
And you,
and myself there,
Yeah.
and Cheryl there. That's what I was thinking there.
Cheryl's-
What
Cheryl's not in attendance.
no,
she's off the air.
Yeah.
yeah.
So the motion defeated then.
That's right.
Okay, so what do you want to do now? Put another name forward?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Brian Shannon as Senior of the Year.
I know that Brian's done a lot for the community, but he hasn't lived here very long yet.
Well, he sure has done a lot in a short amount of time. So,
Well,
and,
so has
and,
Garnet.
recently,
So-
you know,
So has Garnet McKee. He's been here he was born here.
okay.
Anyway. Go ahead and make your motion, Kevin.
Well, I thought I had.
Oh,
I'd
sorry.
like to
Okay.
motion that we nominate Brian Shannon as Senior of the Year for 2020. It's 2020, right? Or 2021?
21.
21.
Sorry.
And would you maybe want to just finish having a conversation and gathering a consensus before we get motions passed or first and seconded anymore?
Sure, good idea, Kim.
Well, you know how I feel. He's done a lot in a short amount of time. I've worked with him and I've been against him at times, but he gets things done. And he's
You know
revived.
the other contenders, Kevin?
What's that?
Do you know the other contenders?
Not very well, no. I do know Garnet McKee to see him. And I know Christine Berry to see her, but I don't know them personally. I don't know their accomplishments. So that's what we're here for, though, to talk about it, you know?
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
Well, I
Garnet
think
McKee.
Garnet McKee's another elder in that group. So
Yeah, and he's been doing people's lawn works and all of the seniors who can't do it themselves. And he's very old himself and he still goes out and cleans other people's yards and cuts their grass for them and keeps care of all of the United Church property. Lived here his whole life.
Okay, Dale had a resolution there. He moved it there for Sandy. There's
Did
any
I lose
seconders?
everybody here? Oh,
Okay, put another name forward. Garnet McKee there. a mover and
I
a
missed
seconder?
something. So what was the last thing? I heard Sandy and then I heard Garnet. So
Garnet McKee.
do I have to declare a conflict because he's like a second cousin?
No,
Not for this. Good Lord.
He's been, I hate to say it, but since somebody was a cowboy, he's been around and always helping. So
Yep.
he would be my second choice. Yeah, definitely. And he's still helping through
Well,
everything.
who's your first choice? Who's your first choice, Glenda?
It was
it was Phyllis.
Oh,
was
Phil.
Phil.
Okay.
Okay,
They're
Pat,
all
will
my,
you move that
I just
there?
heard-
Pat, will you move it there?
Yes,
Glenda,
I
you'll
will move.
second?
For Garnet McKee, yes, I will move.
Glenda, you'll second it?
yes, I will.
Okay. Kevin, where do you sit on this? For or against?
I'm for it, I guess.
Edith?
Sounds like Garnet's been a great volunteer, so whatever.
Edith is for it. Pat, you're for it.
Pat in
Glenda's
favor.
for it. Cheryl is absent. Dale?
I'm for it.
And
Hey,
I'm
we have
for
a
it.
winner.
Motion carried.
There we go.
Could we have the other souls as honorable mentions, please, in our publication?
Yes, I agree.
Definitely in the publication.
Okay.
I think we lost the mayor for a second on that one. The next item on the agenda is Green and Inclusive Community Buildings Program.
It's, we just received notice just late last week that Infrastructure Canada is offering this funding program on behalf of the federal government. It's introduced as a part of Canada's new climate plan to help reduce greenhouse gas and carbon emissions. The last portion of the document is a climate resilience assessment.
Green and inclusive building program there. Kim, you want to start the conversation?
Yeah, sure. So as my memo has indicated, it's a program offered on behalf of the federal government by Infrastructure Canada. And it's a part of Canada's new climate plan to help reduce greenhouse gas and carbon emissions. It really focuses on the climate change resilience merit that the criteria that this application is going to have. It's something that we've just received. Council may want to take some more time to see if there's any building or asset that we would like to see subject of an application. We would have to request proposals from engineers, consultants to determine what criteria could be included in such an application and to compile the application on our behalf. It's quite comprehensive, and there is no shelf-ready project that we have right now that's been earmarked by council. Council would have to address the consulting fees, whether this project would be approved or not. And if approved, our portion of the project eligible costs, which are unknown until the scope of the project is determined and then estimated. But I believe it's 20% of the total eligible costs. It's for the scope of work that is, I believe, less than $3 million. It's just an ongoing application process where there's no hard set deadline. So if council wants to take a little bit more time and look at this, that's doable as well.
I didn't know if this would qualify or not, but I do know that our fire department in all of the houses, they need to have special equipment to hook up exhaust systems to the back of the trucks for their exhaust to have it all filtered and cleaned. And that would be, I don't know if that's going to qualify or not.
I don't think so.
No, I think I read somewhere that that wasn't part of it.
I don't think it can be a, oh, sorry, never mind that.
It's
It can be,
stated in
it could be for fire departments.
Saying buildings though, everything says buildings, community buildings.
Well, that is a community building.
Or space.
But what
What
is eligible for buildings are community centers, public sports and recreation facilities, cultural buildings, community adult learning centers, senior activity centers, and other such health and rehabilitation and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So the modernization of the lighting project at the arena is already under another blanket. Is that correct? That's another government assistant thing happening.
Yeah, we're doing that under with all of our municipal building lighting upgrade.
Okay, what about the rink in Webwood? Maybe we could put some.
There is another program that is out right now, and I know that there was two components of it. One was the operating and one was a capital component. The operating component is current, and I think the deadline is now or very soon. And the capital component is something that our recreation coordinator is working on, I think, for the Webwood rink building and so on, when that becomes announced by the government.
What about the Webwood Library? Would it, because it's got at least a portion of it that's like a multi-use. I remember it was used for seniors activities, painting. They did luncheons, fundraising. Is there any way that it, because I know it's in mobile libraries. So
I guess it all depends on what the project would entail, like what would be involved in the construction or the program.
Well, I know that Kevin and I have already had a little bit of discussion in one of our meetings about the insulation or lack of at that library in Webwood. Maybe we could have a contractor give us a bid or something to save some of our heat loss in that building.
But do libraries fall under this? Or, there's the Libraries Act and whatnot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it is, there's a section that is like completely, like there's doors that close off where the
Yeah,
whole other side where the family health team, I think, was doing remote.
Yes, they were doing OTN there. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I didn't know if perhaps there is a way of using that facility to,
how does the building, how does the building, how is that classified, the Webwood Library building? Does that belong to the library or does it?
No, it's
part
a
of it
municipal
belong-
building and it is a library.
Okay,
Yeah,
So it's a
Okay.
community building then.
okay.
but it's specifically a library, so I'd have to look and
Well,
see.
it is, and I don't know if that gets lost in translation with control under the Library Act or the Municipal Act. It's kind of gray, you know?
pre-COVID, it
But we
was,
can, as long as we can identify ownership of the building.
okay,
Okay.
because I do know like before.
Hey, I'm all for it as the library
I just-
chair, like,
But it does say that the kind of buildings that cannot be retrofitted are administrative buildings used by employees and that are not open to the public. I mean, I guess administrative buildings.
hey, you know what? Right now, we're having issues with the electric heaters in the Massey Library. Half or more of which will need to be changed. I've been having discussions with an electrician on it. I don't know if that would,
The only
like, it's
thing
an
that,
energy.
the only thing that is identified by libraries is, like Edie said, it's mobile libraries. I
Okay,
don't think you could take a standing structure that we have.
So
Okay.
yeah, if it's a community building with a library within it, but within the building, things also occur like the seniors painting or
Yeah.
when I say it's our hotspot, like all the cool teenagers actually hang out there and read books pre-COVID, you know?
and see, I think the Webwood Library is a municipal building, but
It is, yeah.
I'm not sure that the Massey Library is.
It is
What
too.
ab-
It
They
is
both are.
too?
Yeah,
What about the museum? Is there anything they need there at the museum?
that would not be our application.
No,
Okay, thank you.
no.
What about a solar powered sign down at the arena?
I have the same information that I circulated to council. I can't really say if that's going to be a qualifying project or not.
So can we think about this till next meeting then?
Sure you can, yeah.
How much time have we got here?
They're allowing applications ongoing, and I think when they do that, they do it until the funds are spoken for.
Well, sounds good. Yeah, that's not a bad idea there, a solar sign for the arena. Get what we can while we can. But yeah, let's think about it. And,
Yeah, put it on the next agenda.
yeah, thank you.
Have the new A7.
Is that the roadside grass cutting?
No, A7 is the agenda item that was added at the beginning of the meeting.
Oh, for Roz.
Yeah.
Right on.
I provided council with a second copy of her request and a draft resolution earlier today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Les,
Les, you're on mute. Les, you're on mute.
Yes, I received the first one. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what happened to it, but
there you go.
Okay. Is everybody in favor of giving her the information? Because I am.
Sure, completely.
Pursuant to the
Hard-
requested. In regards to all the information that we got tonight, I'm not in favor of that there. I'm in favor of giving her the agenda there because it was information I don't think she should see there until we pass it. Because using a senior of the year, I don't want her to start putting names forward there in the paper there or youth there or anything else there. But I'm totally in favor of her listening to the meeting there and going from there.
Yeah,
But everything we
Absolutely.
talked about with the seniors, that's all going to be programmed in the Zoom?
Oh, I
Yeah.
understand that.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's all about transparency. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Okay, be it resolved that permission be granted to Rosalind Russell of CKNR News pursuant to her request in order to provide delivery of news to the public. Mover and a seconder?
Kevin, I'd like to move that.
Kevin
And
will
I'll
move it there,
second,
seconder?
I'll second it, Dale.
Dale will second it there?
Yes,
Kevin,
please.
you're for it. Edith?
Or
Pat?
Not in favor.
Glenda?
I seem to have lost signal here.
We can hear you.
We hear you. She doesn't hear us.
frozen.
Cheryl there is absent there. And Dale, you're in favor of this, and I'm in
Yes,
favor.
I am. Yeah.
Motion carried.
Very good. Welcome, Roz.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify, will I be receiving some agenda material? For example, you were talking about the Water Power Day today. That would have been a nice story to have the background or two. I realize I work with 23 councils and 11 First Nations, and there are items on councils that are not discussed publicly until they've been dealt with. And usually those are dealt with in closed session. So sometimes we're provided with a bit of backgrounder, but usually we don't get the information until after council has made the resolutions. So I just wanted to clarify that because it's difficult. I literally have like 10 pages of notes tonight. Whereas, you know, if I had the backgrounder, for example, like Water Power Day and your declaration, I'd have that and I wouldn't have to be writing all this out. It's just, that's why I sent the example of what Espanola and Elliott Lake does with the agendas with me, because if it's a closed session, I don't get any information about it.
So
No,
are all of your groups that you report from, are they all giving you the permission you're seeking from us?
Yes, you're the only community that does not provide it, because you had passed a motion. Kim would know more about it than I would. You had passed a motion in regards to recording and how information was to be decimated to disclose to the public.
Okay.
But it just, like I said, I'm not looking, I have lots of work to do. And, you know, and I just want to be able to provide fair coverage to your communities. You have to remember, I come from the day when Webwood was Webwood and Nairn was Nairn and Massey was Massey, and I had like 4 councils to deal with. It's nice to deal with one. And I just want to make sure that the information gets out there correctly. So if I have the background information, then I have something to work from.
I think that maybe needs to be at the clerk's discretion. I don't know that we can send you everything on the agenda because, like Les said, there are things that will need to be discussed before. But like the water power thing, absolutely, that's a delegation, a presentation, stuff like that.
Yeah, like backgrounders where you're
like
dealing.
Not all the things that we need to discuss and decide upon are necessarily in closed session. Like closed session is for nobody, but there are still some decisions that whatever a line in the agenda might be all you're going to get, you know, until we discuss it. So I think that has to be at the discretion of the clerk.
Well, I think Rosalind did mention that any of the other groups give her everything but closed session. I think that's what I understood from her comments.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
I don't get any of the in-council, in-session, closed session material.
You can.
I provide council with staff reports before every meeting. Those are staff reports to council for the purpose of the agenda items. At that point, they're council's documentation, and you can decide what to do with them. It's not my decision whether or not they get
so it'll
circulated
be up to
elsewhere.
council whether.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've made a motion, have we not?
Yeah, so the agenda PDF could easily be sent to Roz.
Yeah,
The agenda's on the website.
well, yeah, but I
No,
mean,
no,
it's
but
not.
that's one page. That's exactly, but the
Yeah.
problem that I'm talking about is that you had this a woman coming in to do this presentation tonight, and it gave me one line. And I ended up having to write about 5 pages of notes about what she was talking about.
Mhm.
Whereas if you had sent me that package, that information, I would have it and I'd be able to get that story put together with the written word right in front of me.
Okay, I totally agree with you, Roz, in regards to that there.
I mean, general items like that, for
Yeah.
example, the grant program you were just talking about, the green program, the Art Green. Again, what is it going to hurt for me to have the backgrounder on that to be able to say Sables-Spanish River Township Council is looking at various projects to be able to, you know, initiate regreening program, whatever.
And obviously, you're not going to be interested in by or zoning amendments or consent applications unless they've been controversial in the past and what.
Well, exactly, but also you've got to remember with that, usually what happens with consent applications, that I very rarely do that unless it's a major project. For example, in Espanola, Espanola Council provided the information in regards to the proposal for a mini mall and the revamping of the Queensway Motel.
Right.
Because that requires public input and
Yeah.
site plan and official plan changes.
Yes.
But I didn't release that story until after council approved it.
And I mean, obviously, we're trusting in your discretion as well. So
Exactly.
And in terms of the senior and youth awards type of thing. Well,
I know that you're waiting to make the announcement yourself.
That's right. And again, it's going to be at your discretion, and I feel comfortable granting you that discretion. So I'm in favor.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Roz.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, and I look forward to continue working with you.
Great.
Thank you, Roz.
Thank you, Roz.
Okay, roadside grass cutting there. Resolution, be it resolved that the request for quotations for roadside grass cutting be awarded to TMI Brushing for the following prices excluding HST. 2021, $15,937.50. 2022, $16,256.25. 2023, $16,581.37. Roadside brushing as required, $117.50 per hour. Everybody in favor of this?
Yes.
No questions, anybody?
I have a comment to make.
Yes.
I would like to see us look at considering in the future obtaining the equipment for us to do this ourselves. I got no problem with the company that's doing it right now, but I think that there are areas that we could have done more than once. And I know Lee Valley Road's of concern with all the people that'll be traversing that road that haven't been on it before, perhaps. So I just see it as something that maintains us with a public works department. And if there's a chance that we can, over a little bit of time, end up being able to do it cheaper than a contract out, I'd like to see us at least look at the angles of that. But otherwise, I'm in favor of, and I'll make the motion, in fact.
You'll move it there?
Yeah.
You'll move it?
Yeah.
Seconder, anybody?
Paddle second.
Okay, Paddle second. Kevin, for or against
So the motion reads what?
that we
TMI.
TMI, his quotation
TMI does our grass
for,
cutting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in favor.
Edith,
Just we wandered down the road there on something, so. Okay.
Pat,
Pat in favor.
Glenda,
In favor.
Cheryl's absent there, Dale,
I'm in favor.
and I'm in favor. Motion carried.
Do we have a time frame of when this is going to happen? I hope we can get Lee Valley Road done before they start using it heavily.
Well,
In
first
the
we gotta let the
report that,
grass grow.
Yeah, there's not that much yet, but
No, I know, but I've driven it several times and there's some brush in the road.
I provided council with a copy of the RFQ that went out, and it says all work shall start no earlier than June 15th and must be completed by August 15th.
that's a good timeline.
And it's just grass cutting. It's not brush cleaning.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, but in his tender, he's got a quote there for brush cutting, and we usually get him there every year to do some brushing here and there.
Yeah, that's a different, different equipment.
Because on the prime and chip roads, he can do a better job than our backhoe with tractor.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, surface treatment joint tender. Be it resolved that Public Works be authorized to participate in the group tendering process with the Manitoulin North Shore Supervisors Association for the 2021 surface treatment projects as per the proposed capital budget. Questions, anybody? Recorded vote, I'm
None.
against. Kevin, for, against.
Why are you against, Les?
Because if you drive down Lee Valley Road there, I'll give you a prime example today. The water's halfway out on the west lane there. We're not maintaining our infrastructure that we do have there. There's section there, there's on our shoulders there, that there's holes out there 2 feet in our prime and chip. And now we want to spend more money in prime and chip, and we're not even maintaining what we got on the road now. So it don't make sense. And if you look at the jobs you did last year, the shoulder there, a couple of weeks after we did that, had to be rectified or fixed there. And I asked to get the hill fixed to get rid of that bump there, and that wasn't fixed there, and it's cracked already. So are we not doing a poor job? We should be maintaining our gosh darn prime and chip and our pavement, because all the roads there have got drop offs there and there's holes. And it doesn't look like we want to maintain our roads. And there's sections that were done 2 years ago there that you think they're 10 or 15 years old. So until we start maintaining our gosh darn infrastructure, I'm not in favor of putting any more down.
You're talking about C2, is that correct, Les? My screen went out on me.
What?
Are you talking about C2, item C2? Surface treatment joint tender?
Yes, yes. Right east of La Cloche Lake Road, the water was right on the goddamn halfway, 3/4 of the lane out on the main driving portion. And the pavement there, this black was coming up there when I went by.
Well,
It's breaking up.
I spoke to Jacques about it earlier this week or at the end of last week, and he's hoping once the ground dries a little bit, they can take a shave off of that shoulder so we can have the drainage. There's a lot of places, as he's aware, that the shoulder is up higher than the road. And if we can get those shoulders knocked down, we can have some appropriate drainage. And this is something that's been necessary for some years now, since I got on council, actually.
That's right there. And we didn't do nothing last winter or
Yeah.
last fall there. And we know there that highway is going to be closed down to one lane there, starting there this week there.
Yes.
Something else I
We've got to
suggest.
maintain our infrastructure there. If we want to spend, we got $500,000 to $750,000 prime and chip on that road.
Something else I suggested to Jacques was, I wonder if we should consider, like, maybe on a weekend, bringing somebody in to work on those shoulders so that the darn thing can drain a little bit, because we're losing the edge of the prime and chip right now with the puddles that are on the side of the road. And every time somebody goes near the edge, we're having an issue with that soggy ground underneath. So I see lots of places, there's chunks, as you've already indicated, that have come loose. And it is a concern. I don't know how we can beat the devil on this one, but it's certainly something that we're pouring a lot of money into.
Okay, recorded vote. Kevin, for, against?
I'm for.
We don't have
Edith.
somebody making a motion on that yet.
Yeah, I read it.
No,
Right.
who motioned first and second?
Oh, you're looking for motion. Okay.
Okay. Mover and a seconder?
I'll move.
Kevin will
Could
move
we-
it there. Seconder? Nobody wants to second it?
I'd like to see us alter the motion to include something about the shoulders being repaired, the grade of the shoulders being to proper level before we spend any money on prime and chip.
Yeah, but the resolution said you want to tender it with Manitoulin
this
North
means-
Shore supervisors there want to attend it all together.
And
guess
we
what I'm-
won't have that, we don't know the time frame on that, and we can't make it a condition on going on a joint tender. We either agree with the
Yeah.
tender and then work with the time frame that we're gonna be given after that.
I understand. I guess I hope everybody understands what I was getting at. I'd rather see us deal with this. I'd rather see us deal with the elevation of these shoulders and the slope of them before we spend any more on prime and chip, because I'm fearful that we're going to possibly damage the edge of the road by scraping at that shoulder. But the same thing, if the shoulder, which is a lot higher than the edge of the road in some places, we're just gonna have the water situation. And with all the increased traffic in this hot summer, I think we're kind of defeating ourselves to some degree.
So at this point, we abandon the joint tender for surface treatment and try to work on our roads and then bring in the people to do the job independently later? Is that what you're suggesting?
This year we have slated 6 kilometers of surface treatment in the
Yes.
capital budget, 3 kilometers on Agnew Lake Road, 1 on Concession Road, and 2 on Birch Lake Road. That's what we're looking at for this year.
Exactly.
So maybe
what
we
does
can
that
just
have
be
to do with
diligent.
Sorry, Dale, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Kevin, you go ahead.
What does that have to do with the shoulders on Lee Valley Road?
Nothing. Dale brought that up. It was nothing to do with this motion right now.
Sorry about that. Yeah, you're right. My screen went dead on me, so I was grasping at that.
Okay, no problem.
But I will say this, using Lee Valley Road as an example, and I've been everywhere in the township, viewing our roads. We should be proactive in getting those 6 kilometers shoulder worthy, so that when they do the job, the shoulder's good, whether we need to put some gravel on it, whether we need to grade it and elevate it. But I'd like to see us have that done in preparation so that that stuff is going to stay down.
So what the motion says is that be it resolved that Public Works be authorized to participate in the group tendering process. So saying
That's
that,
So
we don't
we're-
really have much to say, you're just participating. So
Yeah.
I'm
And the-
more
We're
looking,
partnering with Manitoulin and
Yeah.
North Shore Supervisors
Okay,
Association.
so everybody understands. Okay,
Yeah.
we're
Yes.
down to Kevin's for it. Edith,
I'm
for
for it.
against.
Or
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Sorry, who seconded that?
I'm sure. I motioned it, but
Pat second.
Thank you.
thank you, Pat.
Pat, you're for this?
Pat in favor.
Linda?
in favor.
Cheryl's absent. Dale?
I'm in favor.
Motion carried. Okay, the cleanup days there.
I didn't catch that
Any
music.
with what's going on there in this area there, I'm totally against there having that dump open there for a free run there for the cleanup days there. Anybody that wants to go to the dump can go there, which is a couple dozen cars every Saturday there, but I'm not in favor of opening it up and having a line up there a quarter of a mile long there
Yeah,
in case something does happen.
I have questions about that as well. And then you've got the guy at the dump to deal with that.
That's right.
I mean, none of us knew when we organized cleanup days, none of us knew that the situation in Sudbury Public Health and District would be at the point it is. It has slowed down, but don't have any illusions. I don't know.
No, they're even canceled.
It's a little late to be changing our mind when it's May the 1st is one of the
Well,
weekends.
never
And
too
it's
late.
already,
It's
dump
May
isn't
7th and 8th and
closed.
14th and 15th.
oh, okay, sorry.
No,
The
that's
dump-
okay.
Yeah, the dump can still be open. People can still
yeah.
go. And I was surprised to see that Espanola was gonna go on with their chemical cleanup as well. That's even worse. Like,
Well, I think in that situation, they're luckier because it's a drive-through service and people can't even, not allowed to get out of their vehicles, so.
It is, it is.
Yeah.
The box of your truck's open or your trunk, they take
Yeah.
your stuff and so, yeah, I guess.
And our residents still have access to that day as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
but as
I'm,
far as, go ahead.
I'm in agreement with Pat. It's a little late now. I know there's people, a lot of our people are excited about this, seeing as they're confined to their property with the state of emergency we're in. I think we can run this properly. I think the idea of bringing in a second employee up to handle these hours would be great. And I would hate to see people let down by this not taking place. Part of it's the idea of being free. Part of it is showing 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Part of it is covering 2 days in a row, 2 weekends in a row, which means every working soul in our community is going to have an opportunity. And as what happened 2 years ago, some of the people had to turn around because they realized there was still 10 cars ahead of them and it was 5 minutes to closing. But in this case here, they can go back Saturday. If it's full Friday or the lineup's too big, they can go back Saturday. I think everybody has been social distancing well enough. I think there's a lot of fear factor, but again, people are trying to live in these yards that we want them to clean up. So I'd rather not see us turn around on this. I read all the information here, and I think I'd like to see us still strive forward on this.
I've actually got somebody in town agreeing with that and confused with the pandemic, with stay at home, don't stay at home. Let's clean up. We're excited to do this. Asked about a large dumpster maybe being located so that they could take it to there, queue it up, and then the one dumpster load go, rather than having 10 people from the houses all going individually. I don't know if that's something, like, I have no idea about cost wise, but it was one thing as to stop, you know, a larger dumpster, people could go instead of having 10 individual cars going through the, like, through the COVID screening and dump usage. It depends on how they're implementing, how it's handled, I guess.
So
Well,
there's two ways of looking at this. On any given Saturday, you can go to the dump, right? And so what's stopping us from having a lineup there on any given Saturday? The other
there's
thing
lineups
is,
right now, from what I'm hearing, Kevin.
well, that's what I mean. The other thing is, though, by promoting this cleanup during the stay-at-home order, you know, we're pretty much defying it. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable going forward with this.
Would that be something you would check with public health, you know, to
Yeah.
see what regulations are, because you are, it's not like Espanola where you're staying in your vehicle kind of thing, you know?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And you're promoting leaving your home to do something when it's not life or death. It's not for food. It's not, you know.
Yeah.
I got my shot today, by the way, but you know, let's face it, there's still a large part of the population that's not going to be vaccinated for quite a while. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the community services, it says, including waste collection, transport, storage, processing, disposal, or recycling. And at the bottom, it talks about allotment gardens or community gardens. So anyways, you guys know where I stand on this. I was happy that council approved the 2 weekends in a row. And again, the people I've spoken to are happy because they don't have to worry about trying to go the first day and waiting and on and on. They've got their day set up for their weekend that they've got off on and on. And again, they're living in these yards a lot more this year than is going to happen or has happened previously in our existence here. So I just see it as a good way for them to maybe maintain a little bit of positive about all of this, but whatever, I'm just one person.
Yeah, but I also do recall that the last meeting there was individuals that are going to walk around town and clean it up, and we canceled that.
We had to. Yes, we
That's
had
right.
to.
And we're in the
So-
same predicament, or not worse right now.
yeah, we are. So could anybody consult with Sudbury Public Health and see where we stand on this?
I can, well, I'm sure Kim can reach out to Penny, or I can regarding that. They're very busy right now, but
Well,
the
I can imagine
for
that.
our the provincial regulations would designate that we are at a stay-at-home order. So in
Yes.
that capacity alone, it doesn't sound good. And, you
And
know,
I mean, if you want to defy that as an individual, that's your individual right. But
yes,
in
but
us putting this on, we're promoting that. So
that's right. And unfortunately, that's what it looks like.
That's right.
yeah,
And this is only a week from this weekend, so council won't be meeting again before these dates.
no.
And the mandate hasn't changed. I believe we're still at the stay-at-home order until May 20th. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it is what it
Well,
is.
should we put a posting out then that this has been delayed due to the state of emergency?
yeah, it has to be.
Sure.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
The other thing I thought of is we could lift the fees, but all we're doing is creating cleanup days again by lifting the fees. So maybe we should just put a notice out right away on our site, in the paper. I don't know, perhaps on the radio, but at least for these people that are going to start loading up their trucks and trailers, give them some opportunity to understand that we've had to delay it due to the state of emergency. As long as we're, if we do a good job of communicating, then I mean, we can only be scolded for so much.
So is there any merit in considering a later date?
Well, May 20th, things may change, Kevin.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm talking about in June. Like, okay, everybody wants to do it in May when it's early and it's cool and there's no bugs, but you know, doesn't mean we can't do it in June.
That's right. So that way there, we're not taking it away. But then again, let's say they extend this state of emergency until fall. Then we'll just have to say, sorry, we're going to have to delay it again. And we have to abide by what the rules are.
That's right. And
I'll bring it back to the end of May meeting and then we can review it again at that time.
I think that's the safe choice for all of us here.
Okay,
I like
I'll read the
that.
resolution. Be it resolved that in light of the stay-at-home order imposed by the province, council deems it necessary to postpone the cleanup days, May 2021, at the Tennyson landfill site at this time. Mover and the seconder?
Hold on a second.
I'll move.
Glenda, move it there. Who will second it?
Dale did, I think.
Dale
No,
will
I
second it?
didn't. I was
Oh, no.
questioning.
Oh,
No, I was just sorry. I was just questioning. Somebody spoke, but did Les say that we were going to leave this until May the 20th? Is that, I thought it,
May 21.
so we're
The
going to
cleanup
make it.
days there, May 21 at the Tennyson landfill, so postpone.
Well,
So that
it
means
wasn't, it was the 7th and 8th and the 14th and 15th of May.
Yeah, I just identified the month of May. The cleanup days in the month of May.
Okay.
okay.
Those 2 weekends back to back. Okay, good.
Okay, Kevin, for or against?
I'm for.
Edith?
For.
Pat?
Pat's in favor.
Glenda?
In favor.
Cheryl's absent. Dale?
I'm in favor of the delay.
And I'm in favor. Motion carried.
Could we get that out right away then for our people?
Yeah.
I think that was a really good suggestion to maybe try to get it onto the local radio stations as a community announcement.
Right on, Roz.
We have connections.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll work on it first thing in the morning.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Okay, in regards to the tourism there, Marketplace 2021, we're going to postpone that this year as well?
Well, yes, I suppose. We had some good plans in economic development. The Ag Society wanted to get involved and create one big marketplace, and frankly,
I know there's lots of good ideas out there right now.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do from the beginning with our farmers market. Now, again,
I remember.
the COVID situation, you know, looks like someone wants to speak. Kim, Toma would like to speak.
You're muted, Toma.
Unmute. Okay.
There
There
you
you
are.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. I'm on the Agricultural Society, and I know that we're looking at plans if we can at all possibly do a market this year. We want to do that. I think possibly we should have some council representation talking to the Agricultural Society and see if we can. We think that we can find ways to do these things and move forward. And we're not just running away because it's COVID right now. We're trying to be innovative and find ways to do these things and make them happen. Because people do have to live and lives do have to go on. So I would like the opportunity for the Agricultural Society and council to meet, or at least representative from each, and discuss this and see if there's any way that we can find a path through it.
well,
I
I love the idea, but frankly, I find it a bit difficult with COVID. Just my opinion. I'm not closing myself off to anything there, Toma. I'm still willing.
Well,
to
the thing is that if we do find a way through it, and if it does lift, we are going to go ahead with it. But right now, part of the partnership to put this on with the township was the township was talking about covering the insurance for the vendors.
Yes.
liability.
The liability, yes. We still, I mean, it's going to be, we have to charge the vendors this if we're going to do it, because our insurance company will not cover them.
And
So-
from what I understand, the town bought this insurance for our farmers market
Yes.
up at Heritage Park in the past.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
What,
I
and
would-
what
I
this
would be-
council did, I'll just to give you your reminder, when council renewed the 2021 insurance policy, you also agreed to buy the facility user liability insurance. And what that does is it covers municipal events at properties or
Okay.
buildings.
That means the insurance is
And
there
I'd
then.
like to at least keep it open on the table, if we can, even later in the summer, do this.
Yeah.
That,
We were looking at this, our economic development officer and the chair of economic development committee right now, we're looking at this as from a municipal perspective, knowing we didn't have the staffing and the manpower to be able to provide the protection and all the regulations fulfillment that would be needed for a COVID event. That's all.
Okay,
but
with all
I
that
don't
said,
want it.
with all
Go ahead.
that said, can we hold off on this resolution there and do a little bit more homework with the Agricultural Society there?
That's
Yeah,
all I'm asking.
One thing I would like to add is, from what I gather, it's quite easy to sell food, but it's the flea market end of things right now that's not permitted during our state of emergency. So
And we fully intend to fully comply with COVID rules and regulations. We do this all the time. I mean, we've run events that we never thought we'd be able to run up there because we've worked with the health department and
Yeah.
have a close affiliation with them on everything that we go ahead and do. And we look at innovative ways to try and make these things happen.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot more than we ever thought we would last year. And this year, we're hoping to do the same.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be able to work together, and I don't think the insurance is going to be a barrier, but
No.
let's just chew on it and keep the lines open.
Okay, so let's do a little bit more homework on this there before we,
but it does sound at this point in time as that we have approved the sake of the liability insurance for an avenue in our township other than Heritage Park. Is that what I gathered from what you said, Kim?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's one big thing that the Ag Society was
Yeah.
interested in securing. So that's,
Yeah, I think when this was circulated originally, it was said that there would have to be an agreement between the Ag Society and the township that they would have to provide us.
great.
And
Okay.
COVID rules and regulations would certainly be part of that agreement.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and they're changing daily. So,
Well, yeah.
Does that satisfy the Ag Society at this point in time, Toma?
Yep, I would say so.
Okay,
Excellent, excellent.
Perfect, thank you.
thanks.
And
Toma.
if you decide to have a meeting, could you let Kim know there? And maybe there's some of us want to get involved in that.
Our board meetings,
Yes,
certainly. Board meetings are open
Storm,
to anyone who
brainstorm.
wants to attend. All you have to do is send a request to the treasurer at masseyfair.ca. That happens to be me. And I will send you a link to the meeting.
You mean the secretary, right, Toma?
Yep, well, that happens to be me.
Okay, yeah,
Along
you
with
said,
executive and,
you said treasurer, I just wanted to
oh,
specify.
no, treasurer, no, not treasurer, secretary. Treasurer only gets money. I get everything else.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, planning, Kim, there, the near proposal there, consent there. You want to talk about it? Kim?
Sorry, I was talking, forgot to unmute.
Okay.
The purpose of these applications is to create one new lot in the rural zone on Old Webwood Road and to provide for a lot addition. And I had suggested to the owner that they do this lot addition because it is providing access to a back lot that they have where they can still do the consent, and they are protecting access and creating access for the back lot where they won't be landlocking any properties. The proposed severance and retained portion will exceed the minimum zone standards. The new lot's approximately 5 hectares and the retained is approximately 2. The area of the lot addition is rectangular in shape, approximately 2 hectares in size, and it will, like I said, ensure public road access to the back lot parcel. Very easy municipal plan review to do with regards to provincial policies and regulations. The circulation was done in the roundabout on April 6th for public notice, as well as being circulated to all adjacent landowners within 60 meters. This application will also meet the criteria for the 3 consents granted to a lot existing as of the approval date of February 2003. So it is another note on the consent approval that there'll be no further lot creations on this parcel of land.
Anybody got any questions or concerns in regards to that?
None for me.
no, none for me.
What it does, it tidies up that corner.
It does,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, be it resolved that the consent application file number C-21-04 and C-21-05 as applied for by Ryan Neer be provisionally approved this 28th day of April 2021. The land and subject applications composed of land in the township of Hallam, concession 5, lot 1, plan 53R-20237, part 1. The purpose of these consent is to allow for the creation of one new lot in the rural zone and a lot addition to parcel 10940 in the rural zone. They are hereby provisionally approved with the schedule of conditions attached here too. Road allowance, if survey is required, the road allowance is deemed to be approximately 33 feet from the center of the existing roads in front of the land to be severed, be surveyed, and together with other road allowance that may be on this or existing survey, be conveyed to the municipality at the applicant's expense and appropriately certified that the municipality's title is free and clear of incumbents, and the municipality has a good and markable title. Public road, the road authority requests that the roads on the applicant's lands deemed to be approximately 33 feet from the center of the existing road and approved by the municipality be acknowledged as a public road, and if shown on the survey, shall convey title on these public roads to the municipality at the applicant's expense. No deviation. The official survey, if required, must not deviate substantially from the application. The applicant must provide a copy of the draft reference plan to the municipality. Administration fee, that $100 administration fee be paid per application be paid to the municipality. No arrears, that no arrears owing to the municipality by the applicant unless payment is guaranteed by the applicant's solicitor upon closing. That pursuant to section 3-7-2-4 of the official plan, it shall be acknowledged that the property has reached its maximum number of consent approvals permitted. Who wants to move it and second it?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Kevin, you'll second it. Darren, Glenn, will move it there.
Yes.
Kevin Sport, Edith there for against.
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Glenda. Cheryl's
In favor.
absent. Dale,
I'm in favor.
motion carried.
The next planning application is also for a new lot in the rural zone, and this one is on Wither Road in Victoria Township. The proposed new lot is approximately 8 hectares, with the retained being approximately 40. This property is affected by the Beckett-McDonald municipal drain. The retained portion is adjacent to Highway 17. However, there'll be no new access created. The retained portion has frontage on Wither Road of 400 meters, which exceeds the minimum requirement of 80 meters. The official plan amendment, the official plan designation provides for agricultural uses, including the growing of crops, for which this property is doing. And we did not have to calculate the minimum distance separation or influence area set out for Highway 17 or the rail line, as there's no proposed sensitive land use for this application at this time.
I'll make that motion then.
Kim,
Yes.
question. I dug that municipal drain there. There's no drain on his property that ended at the culvert there on Withers Road.
Okay, well, the records that we have in the property file show that this drain is affecting this land. This has happened once before where there was a requirement to have the drain maintenance apportionment done. And then when the applicants were were ready to satisfy their consent conditions, it was the actual drain report was dug into deeper and further, and it showed that the drain had ended on the north side of the road and their property was on the south side of the road. So in that case, it was not applicable and it wasn't required. And that might be this case again too, if it shows that this property isn't on there. But with the records that we have in our file, it shows that the Beckett-McDonald drain has this property on it. So it's there for our protection in case it is required, like our property file shows. If the actual drain report shows that it has no bearing on it, then it won't be included. But
Okay,
that's
that
the
answers my question. Any other questions, anybody?
No.
Okay, be resolved, the consent application file number C-21-06 is applied for by Ray Brubaker, be provisionally approved as 28th day of imposed of land in the Township of Victoria, section 25, part southwest, one quarter, parcel 25-3. The purpose of this consent is to allow for a new lot in the rural zone, is hereby provisionally approved with the schedule of conditions attached here too. Road allowance, that if a survey is required, the road allowance deemed to be approximately 33 feet from the center of the existing roads in front of the land to be severed, be surveyed, and together with other road allowance that may be on this or existing surveys be conveyed to the municipality at the applicant's expense and appropriately certified that the municipality title is free and clear of all encumbrance and the municipality has a good and markable title. Public road, the road authority requests that the roads on the applicant lands deemed to be approximately 33 feet from the center of the existing road and approved by the municipality be acknowledged as a public road. And if shown on a survey, shall convey title of these roads to the municipality at the applicant's expense. No deviation. The official survey, if required, must not deviate substantially from the application. The applicant must provide a copy of the draft reference plan to the municipality. Administration fee, that $100 administration fee be paid to the municipality. no arrears, that there are no arrears owing to the municipality by the applicant unless payment is guaranteed by the applicant's solicitor upon closing. That pursuant to section 65-1 of the Drainage Act RSO 1990, the applicant is responsible for having the drainage assessment apportioned appropriately where a municipal drain affects the subject land.
We didn't
Somebody
get a
want to move
second.
it and second it?
We had Dale as the mover.
Dale will move it
Glendale
there.
second.
Yeah, I did. Yes, please.
Okay, Kevin, for, against?
I'm for.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Glenda, you're in favor?
In favor.
Cheryl's absent. Dale,
I'm in favor.
Edith,
In favor.
and I'm in favor. Motion carried. Is there any other ones, Kim, there?
There was just this one piece of correspondence from Municipal Affairs that was received yesterday, and I circulated it to council this morning. Councillor Mascot had expressed an interest in discussion on it. It's with regards to having just some more input and some comments being made with regards to councillors. I guess it's the code of conducts that they're looking at just looking at to see if they need to be revamped at all. And they're asking if one member of a council can participate in these sessions just for a one or 2 hour input in information. And we have to have this in by May 6th if we are. So Councillor Mascot asked if we could discuss this tonight.
I wanted to see if anybody would be interested in participating in this. I think it's important that we get a better understanding of our code of conduct and what it entails. And so if anyone is interested in participating, I encourage them to do so. If no one else is, I'd be willing to participate. So
I'm interested in participating. I participated in the online survey, but I mean, Glenda, if you'd like to take this one, go for it.
Neither here nor there. It's up to you. Are you doing school and stuff right now, or is that
No,
all
I'm
done?
I'm not doing school, but I am still doing some consulting work, but I will take the time to do that. I believe.
If you would like to take, I could,
You're breaking
This
up.
isn't taking place until June 10th.
Yes, June 10th is what I looked
Yes.
at on the calendar, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's an afternoon affair, I believe.
11:15 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11:15 a.m. So,
And Glenda,
mean-
you broke up with everything you said, by the way.
Okay. Well, what I'm stating is that my afternoons are kind of tied up. I would like to
Okay.
participate, but if Kevin participate, that's more than acceptable. And if there's any information that he can share with us, I'd appreciate him bringing it back to council.
yeah, I'll make the time that day.
I have a resolution that does that. I don't know, Mayor Gamble, if I gave you the copy of that resolution.
No.
Okay, it was just drafted quick because I had just got this. It just says that be it resolved that Kevin Burke shall participate in the session hosted by Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, seeking input from Ontario municipalities on how to strengthen accountability for municipal council members.
A mover and a seconder?
Pat
I'll
will
move it.
move.
Pat will move it there.
Yeah, Pat
I'll
moves.
second it. Dale will second it then.
Dale will second it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kevin, you're for, against?
I'm in favor.
Okay, Edith,
In favor.
Pat,
Pat's in favor.
Glenda,
In favor?
yeah, Cheryl's absent. Dale, you're in favor, and I'm in favor.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, motion carried there.
Very good.
Anybody got anything else? I got
I
one
have-
thing.
Go ahead, Les.
Okay.
In regards to these tablets, everybody's cutting out there tonight. What's going on with them?
Question, am I cutting out at all? Because I'm not using my tablet.
No.
No, you're good
No.
tonight.
No,
Did
those
I cut out?
tablets,
I think we've
Uh,
just had issues with Glenda and Les and Cheryl, obviously.
I don't know though. Like I said, what I do when I get the info for the meeting, I'll forward it to my laptop. And man, like my tablet is taking like 3 minutes to send it. It's like, and yeah, I don't get it. How long have we had these? A
So what I
year?
do now,
No, not a year yet.
Well, I'm
my
just
tablet
wondering.
keeps shutting down.
Yeah, yeah. And Susan had
So,
given up on hers. So I don't know, like
Receive.
maybe we need to call into question the like it's Samsung, it's supposed to be a quality tablet, but I don't know.
Well, I
Mine
think,
charge, the one that I received, if I unplug it, it's dead within an hour, and it has to be constantly plugged in, but I can't always use it when it's plugged in. So
No,
say
no.
I forward everything to my main laptop and go from there.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do some work and look into these, why these are acting this way, or if they can do something for us.
I wonder if they're still under warranty.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. Warranties in that business vary from 90 days to a year. It's hard to tell, but
I
anyway.
think we're less than a year with them.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
well,
We got them when
all have
Pat
different-
DeLine was retiring, actually.
Well,
Oh, you're right, eh? I think, yeah.
yeah.
What
Well,
was
could you
that,
find
Dale?
out what's wrong with Cheryl's there, please, there?
Well, Cheryl might have lost her internet.
Yeah,
Yeah, and with this weather, that's pretty simple for our internet to be buggered up. When the
Yeah,
air
well,
is
let's-
clear, it seems to work good.
Yeah, well, let's make sure it's the internet there and it's not the tablet there, because it's nice to have everybody on board
yeah,
there.
I'll follow up with her in the morning.
Has anybody got anything else, Kim, there, or Counselor?
Not I.
I have a couple things.
Go
I
ahead.
think I was expected to report to council about our site inspection of Withers Road for the half loading that we have decided to lift for Acon. So we met with a representative from Acon, and that was on Monday morning, and the road was in pretty good shape. You could see where Saftenburg Construction had already put some gravel down on some frost heaves. In conversation, Jacques told the Acon representative Ian that he was going to lay some gravel down on the hill, the last hill before the GS aggregates pit, and he was going to run the grader over the entire road. And that was to take place yesterday, provided we didn't get torrential rains Monday, and we didn't get the torrential rains Monday. So I'm of the belief right now that the road is in good enough shape, and I will keep an eye on it. Let's put it that way. So that was something I think I was supposed to report to you people. I wanted to say this water power thing, if there's a chance we could come out of this with some sustainable power for the sake of $100 registration, I was thinking maybe we should consider this for next meeting to maybe join that water power organization for the sake again of having an inside. I wanted to let Kevin know that I saw 2 great big adult beavers at the creek by his place, and I see there's a whole bunch of poplars that are ready to fall down. I don't know if they're going to hit the road or the wires, but there's some
Where? Past me?
heading toward my place from your place. I saw 2
Okay.
huge beavers the other night.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it was, Monday night. I can't remember what night it was, but I thought we had that trapping situation resolved. Do we
Oh,
not
no,
have a
no.
trapper in place?
No.
And how come?
I don't know. Rob Rowe did some trapping here in the fall. Couldn't catch a beaver. Like, I mean, and he was here every day checking and whatnot. And he said, well, once winter comes, but winter came and his wife went into the hospital and he lost her. And so, I wasn't gonna beat on that.
Well,
it was discussed with Jacques. Now apparently Rob Rowe is trapping again, but I don't see him around here. And Jacques and whoever it was with the backhoe, Trevor, came in here in the fall and walked down the creek and dug a dam. Well, that dam is built right up again. And there was
Well, I
another-
guarantee you it's gonna get worse. That's right.
Oh,
So
it
could
is.
we-
It's already worse. It's all flooded again. And there's another dam on the other branch of the creek coming from Diane Codes. That's where the main dam is. And like,
Well-
I mean, if we're gonna bring in a backhoe to do it, like, let's do it right, dig it out right, and get the beavers trapped. If
Well, the first thing we
Rob isn't gonna trap, then let's get someone who will. Like,
Well, what I'd like
been
to
singing this
suggest,
song for 2 years, like.
I would like to suggest at this time that maybe we have our office approach Mr. Rowe and ask for his written permission for somebody to come in under contract and get rid of these beaver, which is going to be a lot cheaper for us than having a flooded road, especially with this Highway 17 construction. What I saw a couple nights ago, just one of those beavers is going to be able to build a dam sky high in a week. And like I said, Kevin, if you look just past the creek, if you're heading to Massey in the back road, take a look in the bush on the left. There's a half a dozen poplars that are whittled right down to nothing. The next high wind's going to take them down. So we need to do something. We've talked and talked and talked.
Well, I know it's on the south side. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's on the southwest. Well, and again, I'm looking at the road as being east-west, but if you leave your place, drive over the creek, heading to Massey in the back road, where that creek body, it widens out on the south side of the road.
On your left.
Yeah, you take a look in there and see how many of them are looking like pencils ready to fall down.
It's bad. They took like 10 cords of wood down here last fall. I cut it all this spring, believe me. But I went by the book last year. I filled out a report. I told them what needed to be done. And other than a half-assed job digging the one dam out one afternoon, nothing's been done. So I'm kind of frustrated.
Well, I would say that a couple traps could be set there tomorrow, and the following day you'd have at least one of those big guys. So I'd rather not see us wait any longer. We have a road that we need to have passable, and we don't need it to be undermined with current or a dam that ends up building up and then all of a sudden it breaks and let's go. So could we not ask Mr. Rowe to release permission for somebody else to come in and take a diligent job at getting rid of these nuisance beaver?
I'll follow up tomorrow morning with Jacques on that.
Thank you very much, Kim.
That's why I wanted all them dams taken out this spring there.
Oh, I know. And you know what? It was dry this spring. I walked right through there. Now I'd be up to my almost to my waist in water.
I know.
Okay,
That's not the only spot there.
No,
At the river,
I
down the river road, the same thing.
I realize.
I only have one other thing. We asked for 5 subsidies for 5 summer students, and we got some financial assistance for 3. Is the plan for us still to go with 5?
We always do. We always have money in the budget for all the students. The grant is just bonus.
Okay. I think
We only had 5 applicants though, so we have to see what we're going to do with that. And then if we need to try to get more interest, we'll have to try that again.
From what I understand, there's going to be some interviews on Thursday. I just sent Paul a reply this afternoon. So that's all I have. Thanks very much, everybody, for listening to my little tidbits.
Anybody got anything else?
No.
Okay, be it resolved that the time is 9:30 PM and this meeting be adjourned till the next regular meeting of the call of the chair. Mover and the seconder.
Pat moves.
Pat will move it there.
Seconds.
Second.
Edith seconds.
Edith second there. Kevin for or against?
I'm for.
Edith is for it. Pat's for it. Glenda?
Pat in favor. Yeah.
Cheryl's absent. Dale?
I'm in favor.
I am in favor. Motion carried. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
everybody. Night, Edie.